I got you on anything we want to get started tonight.
Daniela Ramon.
Margaritas.
Yo, what's good? Jacob Ramon.
It's your girl, D Breezy.
Bloody Marys, you name it, I got it.
Hey, we live, baby. Let's get this shit.
Yo, what it do? It's your boy Zigzag Every Riders. You know what it is, Mr. AZ Sai. Bar Talk, you know what it is.
Bar Talk TV and this bitch Terrell Matheny signing out.
Yo, it's your main man, Richard Lee. I ain't me, City Boys West. Bar Talk TV.
What's up? It's Platinum, baby. Look, I'm from New Orleans, but like I was out here in Phoenix with the My Bar Grill. It's going down at the Ball Talk, man. Look, I don't want to miss it. You know? It's Platinum, baby.
Yeah. What it do? You know, it's your boy DJ Jamarin. Representing Bar Talk TV, yo. Tap in before you get left behind.
Let's get it.
You are now watching Bar Talk TV.
Well, guys, all right, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Tonight's guest that we have on the show, he goes by Sensei Sai. He is more reputable, actually, with more California artists, Bay Area artists also. He actually collaborated with legendary artists such as Crooked and many different other reputable names as well. Let's go ahead and give a big shout out and warm welcome to Sensei Sai. Go ahead and come on down, good sir.
Yeah.
Sensei.
Where he at? Where he at? Where he at?
Where you at? Where you at?
Sensei.
Man, you know, he always makes a grand entrance.
We can go ahead and get him through that puff cloud of smoke that he's gonna be like walking through.
Oh yeah, is that what it is? You know, those moments, girl. You and I were like looking at each other like, "Hey, what's going on?"
Technical difficulties?
No. He's coming on in.
Hey, what up?
Hey. Hello. Nice seeing you again.
Woo!
So what's up?
Right.
You got
So
your drink?
first
You ready
and
for this
foremost,
interview?
everybody that is tuning in, this is Sensei Sai's second appearance on the show over here,
Yes.
which is awesome. We always love having when guests can make another appearance on the show, but this is his solo show that we're doing over here
Yes.
tonight. Absolutely.
Thanks for having me
So
back.
we tried to do like a old school kind of kickback barbecue sort of thing. It was a little rough, you know, it's the first time we've ever done it, but it was cool. It was cool to like hang out and like get to see you. It's been a while since I've seen you. So get to see you, talk about the things that you're doing, up and coming shows you have, stuff like that. So we really wanted to get him on the show, give him a second round just to kind of, you know, explain who you are and where you come from. So
All right, well,
excited.
again, thanks for having me.
Yeah,
Glad
absolutely.
to be back. Last time was chill. Yeah, with the jalapeno poppers. We got our girl.
Yeah, we
I was
did.
in here.
Shout out to
Now
the
I
homegirl
know.
Sierra.
Sierra.
She got these
Baby
homemade
girl.
jalapeno poppers that she makes from scratch, and they're the fucking bomb.
Sierra.
I'm not
That
gonna
shit
lie.
is fuego.
And shout out to Mikey Pimps for being there too.
Yeah,
Yes,
Mikey Pimp also,
Mikey
absolutely.
Pimp,
Mikey
I
Pimp's
love
always
you.
tuning in. He's doing the double daddy duty over here now
He's
too.
my
'cause
brother
he
from
just had a
another
baby.
mother.
He had a baby on my birthday, actually.
Yeah,
That's really funny.
he just had a little boy.
He had a little
so-
boy on my birthday on April 29th. So shout out to Mikey Pimp. If you're out there,
Pimp.
brother, if you tune in, congratulations once again on becoming a new father. And yeah.
Much love, fam.
Yeah, so again, my name is Sensei Sai, Cisco, Native American, Mexican, and I represent hip hop. That's pretty much my thing, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I love hip hop, and I try to represent it to the fullest and the best that I can. Keep it pure, I guess you could say.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Yes.
And you're from Tucson?
Yeah, born and raised in Tucson.
Awesome.
Lived in Phoenix for a year for massage school. That's about it.
Dope,
Back,
okay.
Back to Tucson to do work. It's pretty much what it was. Came back to do work.
Hell yeah.
And-
Hell
and
yeah.
here we
Kind of
are.
work.
So I went to massage school in Phoenix
Oh,
in 2009. And I was gonna stay up there and you know build a whole new life up there and you know I was out of the hood. That was my thing, to get out of the hood.
Yeah.
And when I got out of the hood, all the information I got up there, I was like, damn, I felt selfish as fuck. So I was like, I gotta go back. So I
Right.
came back
Aw.
and you know try to help. You know, that's my
Your
thing here.
community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my
That's
so,
what's up.
Hell
yeah. So
Put some respect on that.
yeah, it was hard. It was hard too because I was like 18, 19 when I graduated. So and then you know I had like tats and stuff. So some of the doctors, you know, didn't want to work with me and stuff. They're like, "Who the hell is this little Indian boy?" You know what I'm saying? Little Reds boy
All
trying
covered in tattoos.
yeah. So you know, so I just had to hit the streets and start doing it myself. I had my massage chair and my table. I would do baseball tournaments and
Wow.
just try to get clientele like that. So
Bro.
Damn.
yeah, so I learned a lot of stuff through there that's translating into how I'm hitting streets with my music and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's definitely the
know,
grind, man.
Yeah, it's all same information, different grind. Yeah.
Yeah.
Same grind, different grind.
Do you
So-
get a lot of support from your people out there?
Yeah.
Like,
and
What's that like?
it's
Are you like the celebrity there?
No,
No, honestly, he's got my support. Like,
Yeah, your music is good.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I met him and started listening to his music, and I was like, this shit's tight. Like, when I first
Yeah.
met
Thank
him, don't let him fool you. Like, he is tatted up and stuff, but when I met this man,
Oh,
no, girl, he was so fucking perfect. I didn't even know he had tattoos. I didn't even know he rapped. Like, when I met him, he was like button like to the nines, and I was like,
suited
okay.
up and-
He was basically doing my interview to hire me to replace him. So
Oh,
it was one of those things. And then when I met him outside of that, I was like, first I met his sister. And then I saw him outside of work, and I was like, this dude is totally different from like what I initially saw, because you were hella professional. I do have to say that was one of those like really, really professional interviews.
Excuse me. And that's things I learned at massage school, like
Yeah.
that professional development classes.
Yeah.
And and I took those pretty serious because I knew that people were gonna treat me a certain way coming out, So I was like, yeah.
Very
Excuse me.
smart.
Yeah. So what was the question you had asked about?
What's the support like?
Oh yeah, the support is good. Like a lot of people from my reservation bought a lot of my merch, and like
That's what's
if
up.
their kids bought it or they bought some for their kids, so that's my whole thing is like my little corner of the world, which is the Pascoyaki Res, like that's where I'm trying to do my work at.
Yeah.
Because I can't start worldwide yet,
That's very
like I
respectable.
start there and then move out into Tucson and then Phoenix and then bam, spread out. Just by trying to like my main goal of the whole thing is like to stop like broken homes and families,
Yeah.
So and by that, of course, how do those happen? Broken homes and families is, people having to sell drugs or sell some shit, then they get locked up and they're not there.
Yeah.
And that starts to good.
Yeah. Good.
A chain reaction of problems, so
Absolutely.
that's what I'm trying to do is I'm not like preachy, what I'm saying, but I'm just saying let me try to provide a different way to get income for your family besides having to do this before you catch your first case and before you get your priors. Like I understand people have to do it sometimes because they have no other means to get money and provide for their family.
Yeah.
But if you don't have to, if you don't have any priors, there's nothing that's holding you back from getting a job. That I don't see. I mean, I think there's other ways you could go about it, and I want to provide those opportunities to people. So that's what that's why I'm working so hard to try to get my name out there and blow up on music, so that I can bring it back to the hood and build a studio there and
inspire
build
others.
video, acting. Like I want to build like a little hot spot there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
and bring people in who know, stuff I don't know. So to teach, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Absolutely.
Yeah,
to start
that's
your own
what's up.
studio, man.
Yeah.
That's
Absolutely.
yeah, definitely.
That's kind of what we did. But
That's
also,
some
like
big
in that
goals.
retrospect too, that would be like in comparison to like Anthony Mackie, right? The guy that plays like the Falcon in all like the Marvel comic book movies. The guy that's like replacing Captain America now. He started his own studio in New Orleans because he wants to do the same kind of thing. He's like,
that's
let's just start a studio, have people just like rent it out, whatever, just like whatever they want to use it for. We can have them do like modeling shoots here. We can have them do this. We can have them do that. Just whatever they have to bring to the table. Let's just go ahead and like utilize and give them like a platform or just a facility to do so. So that's awesome.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And for like I got a cousin, Avante, he's fucking killing it in football right now at Saguaro in Scottsdale.
Oh, okay.
And like his mom was busting her ass to pay for all his stuff,
Yeah.
Shout out to
equipment,
April.
all
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
And it's he's playing for a really good school and they just won a championship, he got a
Dope.
big old nice ring.
Dang.
And so I want to bring more opportunities like to help, kids who want to play baseball, football,
Yeah.
whatever they
Foundation
want
for
to
that,
do.
absolutely.
I want to be like, yeah, I got some chips to put through there because, I mean, you can't just like not help somebody's dream, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
and you don't have the means or the opportunities to get to your dream, I want to try to provide that just to change if I can, you know what I'm saying? Change
Yeah.
the whole landscape with that.
I mean, I think if you change at least one person's life, like
Yeah, it's a ripple effect. Absolutely.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean,
And plant that seed. Well, I don't know about y'all, but you want to hear one of his songs? Like,
Yeah,
let's
let's
go with one of his
we're
songs.
about to put on. So this song right here, I think we're gonna do the
Which one
song video first, correct?
Let's roll with it.
You want to do the smoke about it?
Yeah.
Because it looks like we got some options right here.
Let me smoke about it. I gotta smoke about it. Let me smoke about it. I gotta smoke about it. Yo, hold up, let me smoke about it. Break it down, wrap it up, match it and ash it. Release the smoke, then drag that hydro through my nose. If you look close, it looks like ghost on a roller coaster. But now it's habitual. What's your ritual? I gotta know. We spark your bowl on one side, even when you're talking alone. Have used the shoelaces, stuff in the stove. You rinse your woods, purple or kush. It is Cativa hybrid, checking your hybrids, and we just vibing. Just me, myself, and I explore my mind, sharing the blunt. Please don't interrupt. Give me a second, I gotta light this up before I make a decision. Let me smoke about it. I gotta smoke about it. Let me smoke about it. I gotta smoke about it. When it's stormy near my clouds are gloomy, I'm stuck in a state of confusion, or my temperature might be fuming. I'd slide back and throw on some grooves, something smooth to put me on the moon. I got this stash of grass, tree hugging, it's a rap. No cap, my lungs just detached off this badge. Don't make us look bad, get your cash. Don't be a jackass, don't stay off the grass. No puff, no pass, no biggie, I'm ready to fly, I'm litty. In my creative space, sedated, bring waves, I'm trailblazing. My ideas are racing, I trapped it on paper, I'll get with you later. Cause first, let me smoke about it. I gotta smoke about it. Let me smoke about it. I gotta smoke about it. Let me smoke about it. I gotta smoke about it. Let me smoke about it. I gotta smoke about it.
Then you know what I mean, the whole world confused you and you're worried and you don't have no time to think. And herb is a thing that give you a little time for yourself so you can live if you use it.
Let me smoke about it. I gotta smoke about it. Let me smoke about it. I gotta smoke about it.
All right, so that was a nice song. That was a cool song. Definitely want to smoke to it.
Yes, I've smoked to it. Like,
yeah. So I forgot I was at work and I was talking to somebody and I don't know what the hell the conversation was about, but instead of saying like, well, let me think about I was like, instead of let me think about it, I was like, let me smoke about it. And he's like, yo, like he threw a little fit about it. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna make a song about that.
Hell yeah. Inspiration can come anyway, right?
Is that how you usually like make your music? You just get inspired, or is it different?
Well, I try a lot of different things. So sometimes it would just come out like that.
Mm-hmm.
But now that I'm about to go into album mode to make my first album, I'm like, you know, I think about a lot of shit. So I'm like, am I gonna write a list of topics that I want to tackle on my first album? Or am I just gonna go off inspiration? Am I gonna mix it? Am I gonna do a concept album, which I probably would like to do because I love concept albums, so, you know. But since it's my first album, am I trying to let everybody know who I am off this first album first, you know, and my different types or sides of me and all that stuff, you know.
Well, that's what's cool about your music, man. Like it's just very apparent as soon as your music hits any of our ears that it just comes right from the heart. So that's what's awesome. What you're trying to do essentially with this album that's coming out, this debut right now, is you're just trying to construct what comes up from the heart. And the crazy thing about what it comes from the heart is like you never know what's going to come up, but you're trying to make it constructive, and that's awesome, brother.
Yeah,
props to you, man.
You know, and I'm trying to step out of the box. Like Nas is, you know, one of my favorite. You know, he is my top favorite. You know.
Yeah.
right behind Pac's not here, but you know,
Yeah.
Nas is something that he's still dropping fire shit, you know what I'm saying? So I'm still learning from him. Like he still gives me shit to learn from, you know? And I mean, that's what I do is just try to learn and try to get better. I've only been doing music for like a year and a half, you know, so I have a lot of groundwork to do, and I put so much time in the studio. Like, I mean, I got my little own setup at home, so I could roll out of bed and just like I'm in the booth, you know, like
just wake up and
you know, I'm in the booth and I'm already, you know, putting in reps, you know, like it's just repetitions. Like that's how I see it. Like, just putting in reps, like just shooting free throws. You know what I'm saying? You want to be the best shooter, you got to start at the free throw line. You're not going to start at shooting threes. You know what I'm saying? You start right there, get the form and the technique right. And that's really where I'm at right now. It's just trying to grow as an artist.
So you mentioned Nas and Tupac, of course.
Yeah.
Who else? Like, what other artists?
I mean, just
inspire you?
Yeah.
Nas,
I know Wu-Tang.
Yeah,
Wu-Tang.
Definitely Wu-Tang. All member, everybody from Wu-Tang. Fucking Prince, Erykah Badu.
Oh yes.
A girl. I think you're like the first one that mentions a girl.
Erykah Badu's a baddie though.
Nice,
like,
The Doors, Jim Morrison, Tech.
Yeah.
I mean, I pulled from a lot of like different places. You know?
That's good. That's cool.
Yeah.
A lot of different places.
The influence and inspiration is so versatile. Absolutely.
Yeah. And I love all types of music too. Like, I mean, jazz, you know.
Classical music.
Classical.
He was in classical.
I'll be like 13, 14, and I had like classical CDs and shit. My boys would be like, "What the fuck you listening to?"
Right?
You know? And I'll be like, "Nah, check this out. You gotta peep this. You know, this Miles Davis dude. Look what I'm playing 6 notes at one time and whatever. You know, like
absolutely
it's nasty. You know, like
that's awesome.
And like that's what makes me fall in love with music so much. The work they had to put in, like, damn. It's in like incredible. It's like almost unbelievable. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's what I want to like do with my music, with my bars. You know what I'm saying? Take that shit real serious. You know, I don't
absolutely.
like. I don't really freestyle because I've always been a writer.
Yeah.
So ever since like 6th grade, because of Pac, the first time I saw his book, The Rose That Grew from Concrete, and saw the way his penmanship and everything. That just put me on a whole different level. So then I started writing poetry then, but nobody knew about it till like maybe like 4 years ago.
How old are you? I mean, how old were you when you started?
Started writing, or
like your whole journey with the music.
Well, all right. So the music started after my boy Julian Valencia passed away.
Yeah.
So,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, he's one of the big reasons I'm doing it too, because he was an artist, graffiti artist, and you know, badass tagger and painter and everything. So, and he had a lot of potential to do a lot of shit, and he had some stuff lined up, you know, doing a clothing line and stuff like that. And this dude was bad, like not just because he's my boy, but it's what motherfucker got skills, you know. So when he passed away, it made me see like, yo, life is too short. So I love hip hop so much, and I adore it and everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, why not make some of myself? So I just started making it for myself, and I started with a Chromebook in a car with a little snowball microphone, because it was a USB one, and I would be in the car fucking trying shit and writing shit. I was stealing beats off YouTube and stuff like that, you know, just to get the start, you know. But so because of him, like sometimes you like, it's rare that I do like, oh, I'm not gonna go to the studio, or I'm not gonna roll into the booth today, like, but when I do have those days, I have a picture that I painted of Julian, and it's like right there, and I'm like, I'm on a mission. Because I'm on a mission. It's not just for me anymore. Like when I first started, it was just because I wanted to make music, because I love hip hop, and I'm gonna try to make my own shit. But then certain things happen, and I was like, damn, it's not for me no more. Now it's for my whole hood, and you know, everybody. Like,
I think it's very powerful.
It's like,
honestly, I want to say that I commend you. I've gotten to see your journey just in the time that I've known you, and it was awesome. You know, when I first heard that you were doing music. You know, I've known a lot of people being in the bar scene that, you know, say they do music and this, that, and the other. And I saw your journey where you were out in the streets. I remember seeing posts about how he was delivering his merch to people. And it was so cool to just see him out there and grinding. And then where you're at now and the things that you've done, I'm just so like astonished and so just happy to be part of that journey and to get to see you do all that. I mean, he's even had his daughter out there delivering merch. I've seen that shit too. Yeah. And she's the cutest kid in the world. Like,
awesome.
Swear to God, you know, but it's awesome. And I'm so happy to, you know, meet somebody that has so much love for their town and their people. And you really put that into your music.
Yeah, I try to like if I do have to talk about certain situations that, you know, involve some type of selling of a narcotic or something, I don't want to glorify it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I did go through that. I did catch a case. It's all went away. And from there too, I was like, damn, yo, like it was just a tough time. You know, that's what a lot of people do it for, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, I should have done something else. I could have.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have any like real priors before that, you know, anything real that prevented me to go and doing something else, you know. But that's just what I want to put in not like teach, but just tell people like, yo, there is another way. You know, there is another way.
Get into public
like,
speaking, brother. And we could definitely have this conversation after the show too. I have a lot of different connections with people that can get you into public speaking and just you can go talk to just like places that have those facilities for kids that are like, you know, like Halfway House, for example. You can go talk to kids and be like, you know what, like I've been in your shoes, like, and it's better like to have somebody like you to be able to talk to them instead of just like somebody that they can't relate to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you've been there
because you were like in their exact same shoes. You're like the mirror spitting image of what they're trying to be, which is like how the only thing that they can see to succeed. Because when you're in the hood like that, bro, like you don't have many options. The only way that you know you can make it out is like shit. How did Dave Chappelle put it? It's like you better learn how to rap or jump or play basketball or something. Nigga, you are trapped. You are trapped. Either do that or sell crack. That's the only way I've seen it work. Like that's literally what it comes down to. In the like, it's crazy. So it's like, you know, but you could preach even more so, like extending from that as well too, obviously, and be like, hey, listen, if there's something you're passionate about, like that's the thing that you can pursue, and you just gotta like become tunnel fucking vision and just do it. It doesn't matter like who's whispering in your ear this, because you're gonna have everybody and their mama that's gonna have a fucking battle axe and a sword and everything metaphorically to just slice you down, cut you down at every breath and step that you take on this journey, especially pursuing something you're passionate about. And during those times, man, it's like the people that you don't even expect are going to be the ones with those battle axes and with those swords. That's your fucking, that's your mom that's saying like, get a real fucking job. You know what I mean? That's your fucking older brother that's jealous of you because you're doing more than he did and he's older and he should be like the one like preceding you and not him. You know what I mean? Like, and then you have like your fucking teachers, of course, that are like, stop writing rhymes and write this fucking creative writing assignment that I told you to. You know what I mean? And then you have, and then
sound like that thing off of Monsters Inc.
And then also on top of that, you've just got like fucking society too. You know what I mean? Once you start to blow up and they start like asking you to interview on CNN.com, you're gonna have that one fucking anchor that's always the hater anchor. That they just keep on the show. That's the anchor that just brings in the ratings, and they're gonna sit there like kind of like Breakfast Club, Charlemagne the God. You know what I mean? You're gonna always have that fucking dude in the corner. That's like
no comment.
I thought you got caught with like weed in your pocket the other day, and like now the police are arresting you. Isn't that what your life's really more about? Is just smoking more weed? Smoke a lot, yeah. It's like blah, 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 blah. You smoke more weed than actually rap, don't you? Like, and then you're like, shut the fuck up.
I've definitely heard some of that shit already.
So that's the thing to preach, right? At these facilities with kids, you know, too. It's like, don't listen to believe the hype. Right. Don't let people convince you out of your own like adopted mindset. That's like so fruitful to yourself.
I like to do everything myself, because when I first started, I reached out to a couple people, just like, hey, how might I do this? Or I want to do this, and they either didn't give me an answer, or they gave me like a real shitty answer, you know? And I was like, damn, that's like good. So when somebody asks me now, I tell them, yo, this is exactly what you do. Like, do this, and then come back to me in like a month, and then we could talk about the next step.
You know, like I honestly believe that when you're trying to do something with your life and you're going in the right direction, a lot of people that you thought were in your corner, you find out really are not happy for your success. They don't want to see you do big things. And so, you know, success starts weeding those people out.
Oh, yeah. Well, before I even started rapping, like God took out a bunch of people out of my life. Like even before my boy passed away,
Yeah.
he was setting up this road that's why like I know, you know, like I see the signs and I know, and I talk to God in the universe all the time. So I get,
Yes.
you know, so I get, you know, what's happening, you know what I'm saying? Of course I can't see into the future, but I know what road opened up and I know what I have to do, you know what I'm saying? Like I just know what I got to do, and I'm trying to learn how to do it as I'm walking. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying that people didn't do anything before, but yeah, I'm just trying to build my steps for other people can follow, and I could safely tell them like, yo, this step was built because of this.
Yeah,
and this
I
is
did
why.
that.
Yeah,
Yes.
Not necessarily I did it, but this is why I did it. You know, like this is you can step here, go ahead. You know what I'm saying?
That's
like,
what's up. Hell yeah.
like that's what I'm trying to do.
So, just one more question before we view another one of your videos. I know your daughter, just based on what I've seen. If you follow him on social media, guys, daughter is one of his biggest fans, and it's the most beautiful relationship to witness. Was your family supportive of you wanting to do music, or were, you know, did they have some type of, you know, kickback?
I mean, probably the one I really just told was like my mom, you know, because I mean, everybody else is, I mean, everybody lives their own lives, you know what I'm saying? So it's not like I was asking, like, hey, what if I do this? You know what I'm saying? Like,
you just did your thing.
Yeah, I just did it. And my boy Adrian that's sitting out there in the lobby.
What up, Adrian?
Yeah, what up,
Adrian?
What up? He was the first one I rapped to because he's like my confidant, you know what I'm saying? We talk about everything.
He's your
So yeah, but he didn't know he didn't even know I was doing this, you know?
Yeah.
So we gonna smoke one day, and I just told him like, yo, just look that way and just shut the fuck up. I told him, and he was like, all right. And then I just started rapping, and I knew what I wanted to do, you know what I'm saying? But it probably like 2 days later, he hit me up. He's like, yo, I think you should rap.
Yeah.
And like he would tell me like the truth, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like it was just like a little something I wrote. It was like, I don't know, like 32 bars or something like that. You know, I just spit this whole thing, and then he's not a music guy. We're like opposites, you know what I'm saying? So he's not a music guy. So he's like, for him to, you know, someone who's not into music be like, oh, and you know, yeah, he's like, yo, like you should rap. Yeah. So I was like, oh, I think, because I had a bunch of shit written, but I never verbalized it, you know what I'm saying? Never spit it. Nobody ever heard me. I'd be in circles and the homies will be all there rapping and they'll be like, yo, you go. And I'm like, nah. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, it wasn't shy. It was just like, Nas has a line where he says like, he was in the park and other dudes were spitting and he didn't want to spit because they didn't think they would understand. Yeah. And now when he grabs the mic, he's a fucking man. Like, you know, so.
That's you.
I mean,
I feel that.
After I felt a little bit, you know, like it's not only because I'm just talking shit, but it's because I spend time with my pen. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So you spend time on something, of course you're gonna think, like, hey, this is all right. You know, I know some people don't like it because, yeah, there's so many reasons.
That was off of Nas's. I know exactly what line you're talking about, Nas. That was off his track "One Love" from his first album, Illmatic.
Illmatic, which I have tatted.
He
right
said,
there.
God, what did he say in his song, man? He said, he's like, yeah. He said, I used to grab my pad and write my rhymes in the park because I thought niggas wouldn't understand. But now now at every jam, I'm the fucking man. Yeah, I knew that.
As soon as you said that, I know exactly what you're talking about, bro.
All right.
Yeah. So yeah. So that line. Of course, I knew that line, but when I started, I was like, "Oh, that shit resonates with me now," you know. Yeah. Like, yeah, but I just love the process of it. I love the craft of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love to make like a complex rhyme or something like that. You know, spend some time with it. You know, make your mind think. Like, I want to spit a line, and then like 2 weeks later, you're like, "Oh fuck." You know, like it, you know, it hits you when you're in the car and you're like, oh, that's what he, you know what I'm saying? Or even like a year from now, because even now I still listen to Illmatic and I'll be like, oh shit. Yeah. And I study that shit like I got books of them, like Illmatic and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So
I don't know about you, but sometimes when I hear music, like I could have heard it like 1,000 times before and I'll still pick up on some shit. And I'm like, yo, like this hit me totally different than it did like back in the day or whatever the situation is.
And that's what's so great about Wu-Tang, because there's so many members and they have so many verses and songs. Like you can never run out of shit. Like, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Man,
it's a new experience every time.
It's a nice song in itself, my book of rhymes.
All right, guys.
So we're gonna play another video. So
Yeah, we're gonna run it.
Okay, yeah.
All right,
so we got a couple of different options just on our screen. The viewers at home,
we're gonna let him pick what song he wants to roll.
I mean, since we're talking about hip hop and stuff, we'll play "Throw 'Em Up" because that's kind of a little nod to hip hop.
That sounds good. She's
where's my blunt? I need my blunt in my
right. We gotta be rolling it up.
Throw 'em up.
Roll it up, y'all.
What do you love? The flow of the beats, or the stories from the slums of how we can make it out of these streets? To relay the realness and surrealisms like guided meditations. Now release your imaginations, here's a demonstration. Just rest your eyes and visualize the fine details of a dream crumbling, tumbling, mess doubly, then rewind it and watch the pieces readhesive back into completeness. But in slow motion can pinpoint the reasons, write a thesis, now witness this genius. So I got myself reaching for the top of the tree, eating snakes, Adam and Eve. This is only the beginning, Thor quality electricity I'm emitting. Couldn't be low-key as much as I wanted to be, but I'm up to something like low-key. Got a mischief, high-key set plane for a lift. The universe reviewed my messages, I'm blessed, but I'm sentencing myself to death in my electric chair, my lair, putting together these prayers, stomping out these lines like I'm doing suicide. B-boys, B-girls, bomb throwers, flame spitters, record spinners, do one thing. Throw 'em up one time if you love hip-hop, 2 times if it ain't gon' stop. Throw 'em up one time if you love hip-hop, 2 times if it ain't gon' stop. Throw 'em up one time if you love hip-hop, 2 times if it ain't gon' stop. Throw 'em up one time if you love hip-hop, 2 times if it ain't gon' stop. Yes, y'all. I used to love her, shit, I still do. We got introduced back in grade school and I couldn't get enough of you. I always defended you when you're ridiculed, like you just gotta hear past the curses and a real message and the pain was surface. So I stayed lurking till I found my second purpose. Then it all hit quick, the Lord said this is it, this is what you manifested, kid. Hip-hop's my love language, how would you interpret this uniqueness? Would you devour the sweetness? This is rough, so don't expect neatness. Just admire the way I treat these canvases, the beats, my bandages, I hug my damages, and the quatrains I stack so savagely. My words are something of a mastery. Now perfect DJ set can bring tears down my neck when that boom boom bap hits. But after pay much love and respect for the work and dedication that's been put to 78. I'm what hip hop raised, and I'm writing my lyrics so they stick to your ribs when you hear it. Feed your spirit, let the beat get your body into it. Now you're left with the everlasting imprint, like the man who said Wu-Tang's for the children. Throw 'em up one time if you love hip hop, 2 times if it ain't gon' stop. Throw 'em up one time if you love hip hop, 2 times if it ain't gon' stop.
That was a really cool song.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna have to listen to that on
so
my own because we were a little loud in here. I like the beat.
Yeah, it's just
sorry, we were
the
talking.
Concept. You said that it was love for hip hop.
Throw 'em up one time if you love hip hop.
Just before this little next clip of our sponsor, I want to give a shout out to
Daniela, our bartender.
Daniela,
hell
shout
yeah.
outs, absolutely.
A CEO too, because she's the CEO.
Yes.
Dude, this drink is so bomb. It's so delicious.
Kind of tastes like a mojito, kind of.
I don't know, but it's green. It matches my shirt.
Yeah, right? She's like, I be feeling it. Thank you.
All right.
So that's our sponsor coming up right now.
Yeah.
This is Dean Breezy with Bar Talk TV, and I got the owner here of Pecans
Wings and things. So Jeremiah, what sets you apart from all these other wing places out here?
I would say it's my flavors, and not just my flavors, but also how I make them. First things off top is that I do make all my sauces from scratch. So, daily. Made to order daily. No sauces get kept overnight, And to me, with the chicken wings at the beginning, anybody can drop a chicken wing in some grease or put them on the grill, but to me, it's all about the sauce. And my sauces are made from scratch. On top of that, I feel, it's just my flavors, Michelada wings.
Michelada wings?
Michelada wings.
I want to try those.
So Michelada wings, I got the cilantro lime jalapeno wings. I got bacon wrap wings. Birria wings. Birria wings. Yeah, we'll talk about that. It's the flavor, it's just doing something different that you're not seeing, that you can't get from anywhere else around us right now. So, that's what I feel would set me apart right now from, all these other wing places.
Yeah, I agree. So Jeremiah, tell us, where can we find these wings at?
Well, I will be partnering up with just one more bar, 6255 East Golfling Street, right across from the base. And with that said, it is going to be 20% military discount as well. Don't have a date set, but as soon as we get that date set, you guys will be the first to know.
Bar Talk TV, y'all. Oh wait.
Shout out to Jeremiah. That's our sponsor. One of our sponsors right there too. Absolutely, for Bar Talk TV.
You can find him
doing
on
his
DoorDash.
things. Yeah, DoorDash.
I'm
Yeah, absolutely.
right now.
Yeah.
Right, no, for real. Yeah,
Them Michelada wings are fire,
really
yo.
Good. I can't. Yeah, we tried them actually too. We did a field event over at Thunder Canyon Brewery for Kyrim, Cash Lansky, and a couple of their artists. Ormigueto.
Yeah.
And we brought some Michelada wings.
It's for
the
Cinco
one
de Mayo.
wings I wanted to try from
Do you
Pacaz.
drink Michelada with those wings?
No.
No, like it's not like
they're really good.
I mean,
should
I know.
you? That's what I'm saying. Should
Yeah.
you?
That'll be
Like,
the perfect
I
pairing
know,
right there.
but
If you want to
they're
pair food and
fucking
beverage,
fire, yo.
Yeah.
that's the way to
I
go.
know it's different, but oh my god, they are so
Honestly,
good.
I showed
You're
up
gonna
like,
lick your fingers because you don't want to put that on the napkin.
girl, if you remember, I showed up like fashionably late, so they were kind of cold, but at the same time, they were still hella good.
Cold, yo.
Like, I'm telling you, that's how you know chicken is good. If you can eat it cold and it still tastes hella good, like that's what it is. Like,
but anyways, did you want to give a shout out to Jay Tyrese?
yes,
Oh,
yeah,
Jay,
Jay, man.
you have
Thanks
been
for
in
blowing
these
up the-
comments.
And then
Hello,
also we got Ana Belém saying you're
Oh, yeah,
Anna.
that's my mom. Shout out to my
Oh,
mom.
Oh, shout out to
Shout out.
Sensei's
What up,
mom.
mama?
Yeah.
Shout out, Mama
Hello.
Sensei.
Yeah, so man, with her, it was a long time ago, like, because she was like the Chronic 2000. Well, first of all, my whole family tried to keep me away from rap. You know what I'm saying? They were like, nah, you ain't listening to that shit. You ain't, you know what I'm saying? So I would have to sneak around to try to get hip hop in. You know what I'm saying? So and when we would go to the stores, I would go hit the magazine aisle. And I would tear little pages out of the magazines, try not to get caught, and I'll put them in my sock. You know what I'm saying? I would do that to the Slam magazines, the basketball magazine.
Yeah.
If it had like some kind of workouts or some kind of basketball shit that I needed to know, I would tear that page out and fold it up.
Oh shit.
And then the source and the vibe and all that, you get a little POC page out or whatever, And so I had to hide that shit, you know what I'm saying? I had to hide in the back of a yard and listen to a fucking CD, And she found my Chronic 2001 CD, and I for some reason I had 3 of them, and she cracked it and threw it out the window.
Oh, damn!
That's hateful.
Yeah, no, like I know, and we come from like a Catholic background, religious, like we were involved with the church and everything like that, So I had to sit her down and be like, "All right, this is Eminem, Marshall Mathers. This is his story, and this is why he's saying it like this. This is why he uses the F-bomb here or this word here, and so we went through like a whole day of listening to Eminem, and then the next day I put it through Pac. And I was like,
shit!
I was like, yo, this is why I like it. This is why, you have to understand. They're telling a story. There's a lot of pain, or there's a lot of stories in here, So then she started to like get it. All right, open up to it. Yeah, so shout out to her for
well, I do have to
listening.
ask if that was the case. Like, what type of music did you grow up listening to? Like, what did your mom listen to?
Everything like Mexican music. I will find my Theo put me on to rock. You know, I had to go work with him in the summers. So he had you know, KLPX on in the morning, you know, stuff like that. So that's where I got all my Ozzy and all that stuff. You know, so he put me on to rock and stand-up comedy. And then my mom, you know, they listen to country. Like, I mean, George Stray's my dude, you know what I'm saying? Like, I listen to everything though, you know. I had, you know, certain people, certain places that, you know, I picked up jazz from, I picked up this from. So it comes from everywhere, you know what I'm saying? So
do you listen to corridos?
yeah, I listen, I can't dance to that. I'll probably break my ankle or something like that. But, yeah,
that's so funny.
Nah, it's like I get it, you know, and then like I love music so much that I understand. So when I hear something that I'm like, I can't, like, I understand it. You know, I respect it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I just got respect for art in general.
Yeah,
you know,
art.
like
That's...
the art and the time put into it to be perfect or almost perfect. Or you know, Kobe and Jordan. You know what I'm saying? Like Jordan, I got a lot of my shit from him. Because how fucking hard-headed and how much he worked, you know what I'm saying? Like,
absolutely.
Like on He Got Game. Remember the movie He Got Game?
Yeah.
When Denzel tells little Jesus, he's like, "Yo, ain't
Jesus Shuttlesworth."
Yeah, he said nobody's awake right now, but me, you, and Jordan. Jordan's in the weight room right now. You know, nobody else is awake. And I would play basketball until my legs were wobbly. You know what I'm saying? So and I rap and I record so much until my mouth is tired. Like, and then I take a power nap. Get some coffee, be a little bleezy, and then go back into the studio and rap again until my mouth is exhausted and my words are coming out all slurry and shit. I know I gotta take a break now. Like, you know, I mean, that's how much I know I have to put in work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so
that's awesome.
So you mentioned you have a daughter.
I do.
Have one kid.
I do have one baby.
How old is she?
She's 5.
Oh, she's 5.
Yeah, she's
What's
5.
her name?
Yeah, her name.
Her name is Riza Amaru.
Like, where does that come from?
Yeah, it's
I know this story, but I want to hear it again.
Riza Amaru is very masculine and feminine at the same time. Like, it's hard, it's strong, you know what I'm saying? Like, so man, where does that story start? Well, the first day her mom was like, "Hey, I'm pregnant." I was like, "Riza Amaru." And she was like, "Yeah," like the first day, that was all like Riza Amaru, boy or girl.
Yeah,
that's pretty. Yeah.
Yeah. So Riza RZA, he's the guy who got Wu-Tang together. So he's like the oh damn, how do I even go? All right. So it goes, it's like very all right.
No, that's a good story.
You gotta buckle up for this one.
That's how you knew it's a good story over here.
Going a little faster.
Riza, he got Wu-Tang together. And in the 90s, to get 9 guys from different hoods that are all, you know, badasses to one group, to like let their egos go and to be able to talk to them all in a certain way to get them, like, that's genius. I know GZA, his cousin, his name's Genius. You know, but RZA to me is the genius in the brain. Like,
the genius.
Yeah, dude, like so so RZA, it translates to ruler, and then the Z translates to zigzag zig, but that means knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and then A for Allah, which is God.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So and they all got their name from the supreme alphabet. So like every letter doesn't mean like A is just to us, you know what I'm saying? But A, oh man, A is Allah. Yeah, and like F is food, and like there's a certain, you know, thing. So Z is zigzag zigla, knowledge, wisdom, understanding. So every letter has something, you know. G is genius, stuff like that. Yeah. So and then I picked Amaru because that's Tupac's middle name. You know, so Tupac to me was the heart and the spirit. He had too much spirit, too much heart, too much loyalty. I think that's what got him killed. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I guess in that case there is too much, you know.
Yes.
But again, he was young. We get it. You know what I'm saying? He was young and crazy. But to him, he was the heart and the spirit.
Yeah.
And RZA to me was the mind and the genius. So I gave her those 2 names plus my last name, and then you put all those together, like that shit's powerful as hell. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So
that's beautiful.
So I do have to say real quick, I'm looking at these comments right now, and your mother said you're amazing. She wants you to know that. And Jay's been in the comments. He's talking about, you know, how your gift, how you use it to change the environment that you grew up in, and it's very inspiring, and that's what he wants to try to do. So shout out to Jay. That's awesome.
Just do it, bro.
That's definitely what we want to do. We want to resonate with people.
Yeah.
So that's really awesome.
Yeah. So the RZA, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I found out he was coming to Phoenix when my baby was 6 months in the womb, right? And he was gonna do his last show in Phoenix with the guy named Paul Banks from Interpol. You know Interpol? You know Interpol. So they made a badass album called Banks and Stills, or it's called Anything But Words, but it's called Banks and Stills. And they were doing their last show in Phoenix. And I was like, yo, I gotta meet RZA and I gotta get his blessing and name my daughter after him. You know, I was like, gotta do it. So I went through this fucking long period of trying to contact anybody who worked at that venue. Like I went to the venue, like I did some crazy research. Like, yeah, I felt like, I don't know, like I was trying to catch somebody up or something. But I found out who's gonna work security there. I found out like who the bartenders were gonna be.
Damn.
I found out like
FBI
anybody,
status
like
right here.
the
You
DJ.
don't play around.
No, I even made a Twitter to hit up people who didn't have other social medias to like hit them up and explain to my story. Like, yo, I mean, I hit up everybody. I even hit up Riz and all them. Of course, they don't check all their stuff, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I hit up everybody, but nobody could help me. They're like, yo, there's no VIP. There's nothing we could do. Cool story, blah, blah, blah. I was like, damn, well, we're going to the show anyway. I'm gonna like, I was so determined to get his blessing to name my daughter after him. Obviously, Pac's not here. So, you know, I was like, yo, if I could just meet, like, you know, I think his mom hadn't passed yet. I was like, if I could at least meet his mom, you know, and be like, yo, I'm pretty sure she would have given her blessing too.
Yeah.
But so we went to the show in Phoenix at the Crescent Ballroom. You ever been to Crescent Ballroom?
Yeah.
It's a nice little venue for like, it's an
I've seen
intimate
some shows
venue,
up there.
you know?
I've seen a few shows up there.
Like,
Yeah.
It's a nice little place.
Have you been there?
No.
I
It's
haven't
dope.
been there.
Like to see a good
It's
show.
a pretty
there, it's,
sweet
like,
venue.
dope.
There's a
Yeah. So again, when I get there, I go to every security guard. Yo, this is what I'm trying to meet RZA. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't do anything. I can't, you know. I hit up everybody. I was like a bug, yo, but I had to do it. I had to do it. So the show was amazing. As soon as I knew the show was over, they played all 12 of the songs. I was like, I'm out. We went out to the parking lot. There was a tour bus right there, and I was like, yeah, that's their bus. You know, it was parked right in front of us. So I had like a little pack of blunts or whatever, you know, like a little peace offering or something.
Right.
You know, like, and I waited outside that tour bus for like 15 minutes, and I even knocked on it and everything. Nobody came out. And then I saw this dude walking from like an alley, you know. So I was like, yo, where you coming from? I was on a mission. I was talking to everybody.
Right.
You know? Like,
have you seen
yo,
RZA?
have you seen RZA?
Have you seen RZA?
Dude, I was like, yo,
Staking out his tour bus, yo.
Yeah, I mean, I was determined to get that blessing, you know.
Yeah.
And he was like, yo, there's people lining up back there to meet and greet. I was like, yo, and my RZA's mom, you know, she had a big old belly, you know, like she was pretty big at like, I think it was 6-7 months. So I almost yanked her over there, you know what I'm saying? Like she knew the mission, you know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, let's go.
She understood the assignment.
The assignment. Hell yeah.
So we went over there and there was a line of like 10 people to meet RZA and Paul Banks. And I was like, yo, this is perfect.
Yeah.
So I wanted it to be last so I could get the most of the time, you know. I didn't want to, you know, so every time somebody would come, I'm like, yo, go ahead.
Go behind them.
Yeah, I was like, go ahead. But it was only like 2 people. And then some dude came and he had a Wu-Tang album and he was trying to get it signed, but he didn't go to the show. So security called him out. He's like, oh, I know you didn't buy a ticket. I know what you do. So it started like a little, you know, a little riff, you know?
Yeah.
So RZA was already out. Paul Banks was out and they were signing autographs. And I'm telling you, there was 12 people in line and then me and her. So when he was halfway, man, that's when that little riff started. And RZA felt the energy of that dude and everything like that. And he was like, yo, I'm done. Right in front of me, bro. My heart sank, bro. I felt my heart hit my feet or the floor, bro. I was like, no. And he turned around and walked inside, bro. He was we're right there, bro. I was like, I swear, man, I was heartbroken. And the security like, yo, y'all gotta leave the parking lot. You know, you guys can't be here. So we walked to the end of the parking lot. And I told her, I was like, yo, I gotta try again. I already talked to the security guards 10 times.
Yeah.
I was like, I gotta do it again before we leave, you know. So I go back and 2 big ass security guards, bro. Their shoulders are like here to me, you know. And I was like, yo, dude, I know, you know, like, hey, I'm sorry. As I'm talking to him, RZA just turns his corner and walks out solo. He has a coffee cup with him. And I said, yo, Bobby, let me get 30 seconds of your time. He's all, 30 seconds, go. And I fucking just, I felt like, bro, like, yo, I came from Tuesday. I've been doing all this work to try to get. And then I told him, yo, you know, my
My wife.
My
girl's pregnant.
Girl,
yeah, she's at the end of the parking lot. He's like, yo, go get her. I was like, oh, shit. So I ran over there and I was like, yo, you need to come. Like, let's go right now.
You're like, come on, walk quickly.
Yeah, you know, we got there and he told me, like, hold my coffee. And he's like, you mind if I place my hands on her belly?
Oh, wow.
And he said a prayer for like a minute, yo. Like, RZA, he's real spiritual, man, you know? So, yeah, it was crazy. So he gave me his blessing to name my daughter after him and stuff like that. And it was nuts, yo. And like, I was on a high I still am on that high, but like, for a whole 2 weeks, I was just all gazed out, man. Like I did that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was crazy, man. Like the way it happened. And then 4 months later, my baby was 4 months, not 4 months later. 4 months. He was doing a pop-up show of the same album in LA.
Oh, okay.
So we went over there again, saw the show. It was amazing. Of course, there's no meet and greet. I went to the same thing with security and everybody. You can't do it. So we just waited outside the venue and he just walked out again by himself. Hey, RZA, do you remember us from Phoenix and this and that? He said, oh, yeah. I said, well, this is my daughter now. She's 4 months old, you know. And I asked her, can you send her a message for the future, something that she could look back on, you know, when she's, you know, going through something or whatever. Yeah. So he sent her like a cool little shout out by name, you know. Yeah, and you know, I showed, the day she was born. I wish I would send you that picture. The day she was born, on her heart monitor, in yellow, like a W came out.
Wow.
And I have a picture because the doctor was talking to me and I looked at the heart monitor and I was like, I had to interrupt the doctor. Hey, but I'm sorry. I got to take my phone out and take a picture. And he was telling me some
it was
stuff,
a yellow
you know?
W.
A yellow. I'll show you the picture. Right now. It was.
Can we look that up?
You know,
actually, real
it's
quick,
on my Facebook.
honestly,
like, I don't know.
If you haven't seen her, I've seen her.
If we
She's
scroll through
absolutely
Facebook
gorgeous.
while we're streaming right now, we could actually just download the image and then put it up here for a second.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yo, because I had to stop the doctor, but I was like, yo, I'm sorry. And like everybody in that whole place knew her name was RZA and everything.
Crazy,
like everybody knew her little name and her story.
I don't know what he did, but that girl is absolutely beautiful, and it is so awesome to see how much she resonates with your music, and she's definitely your number one fan. I see her out there. I see her out there in the streets supporting her daddy. So shout out to RZA. You are beautiful, baby girl. You're gonna do a lot of different things.
RZA Amaru, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And like she could write her whole name out and everything. She knows her name. And
she's gorgeous. I gotta show you this little girl. She is gorgeous.
Real quick, we are pulling up right now. Do you know where the image would be on your profile?
Yeah, it's probably way down there, way.
So we're just going through the photos.
I truthfully blame you because
we're gonna find it, y'all, and we're gonna put it just on the show for y'all.
You gotta go to like the album.
Those of you that are just tuning in, I see that we got a couple of new people just turning in too. So we got Sensei Sai on the show. He's talking about his daughter. He named his daughter after RZA and Tupac Amaru.
Yes.
But his daughter, when she was, you said 4 months old, met RZA, and then when she was born, on the heart monitor there was like a yellow W that came up on the.
And I showed him that
on the beat of her heart. That's crazy.
We're seeing. I'm telling you, he was out in them streets, bro. He was selling that merch.
Bought some merch. It got posted up in some stores.
That's like Sublime
shout
style,
out,
right?
Yeah, shout out to TNT Clothing.
Yes,
my merch in the stores.
Dope. Okay.
Yeah, I love TNT. They have some of the coolest
Mr.
shit.
Lee, his name
yeah,
is
my
Mr.
shirt
Lee.
is in the living room. Can I
yes, go get it, babe. Do you want to go grab it real quick for her?
Real quick. We can throw it up here. Absolutely.
Yes, guys.
There's like 5 years in there.
And to be honest, let me just try to he draws the pictures for his merch, which is super fucking awesome. Yeah, he drew that out.
I do everything. Like I
I
said,
know you said you do everything.
yeah, it's because I don't like to rely on people. Like if I say, hey, can you help me with this? Oh, I can't for like a month or something. So I was just like, well, I'm just gonna do everything myself. I hate relying on people anyway. And if you want to do it right, you know, do it.
Let me see it. Let me see it. I want to see it because it's so pretty. It's a beautiful color.
Oh yeah, so
look at this. My shirt. Look, this is D's shirt. Like, look at that.
It's like way.
It's gorgeous. Here you go, baby.
I'll find it real quick and send it to you.
It's gorgeous, gorgeous.
Your picture on it, Sensei.
Yeah, actually, my boy
like,
Robert made that image for me right there.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, that's a cool image.
Yeah, that was cool.
Samurai hat on.
Our bartender, if you guys can see her, guys, at the bar, she's wearing some of Sensei Sai's merch too. which is super fucking awesome. She looks absolutely gorgeous. Daniela.
So the RZA video, right? So that became a thing. So I was at Congress one night.
Getting a little excited.
Yeah, and my boy was like, "Hey, you ever worked security before?" And I was like, "No." And he's like, "Yo, you want to work with me like this weekend for Twista?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I didn't know it was at the strip club, right? So he was, it was at TD's East.
Yeah, I remember that show.
Yeah, so that was my first night working at the strip club. And when he asked me, like, and he said Twista, I was like, I'm gonna meet him. I'm gonna get a video. So I was like, yeah, I'll work security. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I went that night, worked security. I was his security.
Nice.
So they were just chilling. I was like, all that shit, you know?
Nice.
Yeah, it was chill. But after I started working with his security and like talking to him and being real cool with them and stuff, and I told him what what everything I just told you guys about the RZA thing.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh yeah, we got daughters too, and this and that. So he hit a little spot, and they told Twista about it. And then after everything was done, Twista came out and he was like, yo, this is the homie you gotta meet. Introduced me to him. And I told him my story real quick. And I was like, yo, can you send her a shout out? And Jacob, those videos are on my Facebook too. If you want to look at those, because those are like.
I know we're trying to find some stuff to show y'all, so you kind of understand the story.
Well, there's just one in
going
particular
on.
picture is what we're looking for. Yeah.
So I met Twista, and he gave RZA like a super dope shout out. And then like a couple weeks later, Lil Flip was in town with Bone.
Yeah,
I met Flip. So since then I have like 18 videos from like artists shouting out my name.
You were staking it out.
We actually just scrolled by the one that's the huge A&R M80.
Yes.
If y'all know who M80 is, he's a huge A&R, mostly through like the Bay Area, but he's got like a lot of different reputable names that he works with.
He worked like on 11 Wu-Tang joints.
Wu-Tang joints too. Yep.
Oh yeah.
Do you want to do the while we're just scrolling through? Do you want to do the Crooked Eye shout out there?
Yeah, let's do the Crooked Eye. That was beautiful.
Do we have that file? I'm pretty sure we do.
Let's talk about.
Should we talk about?
Hold on, let's talk
Sensei,
about
what's
it
up,
first.
man? It's King Crook.
Because honestly, if you guys haven't seen it here on the South Side, there is a mural of you and Crooked Eye.
Yeah.
Which is super dope.
Shout out to Sal Sawaki. Me and him painted that.
Yes, it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yes, it's gorgeous. If you haven't seen it, like
painted for like 16 hours.
Yeah, I remember you were talking about it.
6 in the morning to I don't know what time I was all toasted.
Look, man, I'm just shouting you out.
Yeah, but oh man, all right.
Let's play it. Let's play it.
Yeah.
Wait, which one? Well, I don't know. Should I explain the whole thing?
Yeah, go ahead and everybody that is.
What was that experience like?
Yeah, because I know you put in
Just
some work
tuning
for
in.
that too. It seems like every artist you've ever met, you've gone through the trenches for that shit.
That's just the thing. You just have to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you could have the idea, but you have to put action behind it. Or else, I mean,
absolutely.
Yeah. All right. So Crooked Eye. Is that what we're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah. So Crooked Eye, how did you get in touch with Crooked Eye? Was it somebody on your team, or was it just like off of a whim?
He does everything.
Yeah.
Right? No, he explained that story.
Yeah. So I found out Crook was coming to Phoenix.
Yeah.
He was going to Trill, the shop Trill in Phoenix.
Possibly.
Yeah. So it's like a hip hop clothing shop. You know, it's pretty dope. So I found out he was coming to Phoenix, and I already had got a verse from him from the guys I get beats from in Cali, right? Anno Domination.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Excuse
Excuse me. Man, this story is super complex too. Like it's crazy. It's deep. There's a lot of elements to it.
Take a deep breath.
Yeah. So I had the song acquired from him already that I paid for, right? So when I found out he was coming to Phoenix, I was like, damn, I gotta go and see if he's down to do a video. You know what I'm saying? So I had my friend make me a custom cigar box because Crooked Eye is like a cigar guy. You know, he's that's his thing. You know, Romeo and Julieta is like those are his things.
Hell yeah.
So I went and got him his favorite cigars at
Anthony's Cigar Shop.
Anthony's Cigar Shop. Shout out to Anthony's Cigar Shop too. So,
Yeah, shout out, absolutely.
And I showed the guy there, you know, I need these right here. You know, he hooked me up. I made a custom. Well, my friend made me a custom cigar box, and it said Crooked Eye and Sensei on there, right? And it said Guardians of the Mastery because that's what I named our song, right? So I drove up to Phoenix solo dolo, and I went and met him, and I was like, "Yo, Crook, let me chop it up with you." I presented him with a box, Native American, you know, so, you know, present him with some tobacco, you know, a little peace offering, and
Keep
oh,
talking.
yeah, thank you, appreciate that, and you know, so he was taking pictures with people, you know, he's like, "Yo, we'll chop it up after this," you know. So I introduced myself as Sensei to him. First time when I heard like he was done doing his picture, he's like, "Yo, Sensei, let's go outside, chop it up." But I got chills up my arm and everything. I was like, "Oh, damn, like a legend, Crooked Eye." Oh, I mean, he's a legend. Like he puts in work like big time.
Yeah.
He was signed to Eminem's group. He was signed to Death Row with Pac and them. Like he's a straight up legend. He's from Long Beach. He's dope. So after, you know, we went outside and I got him the cigars, but it was too windy to he couldn't light a cigar, you know. So I was like, "Yo, my car's parked right there. And we could go in the car, we could smoke in there and chop it up." And he like solo, he didn't have no security. Like he was just like, he's a man of the people, bro. Like he went to my car not knowing who the hell I am and this and that. We sat in my car for a half an hour uninterrupted. Like nobody knew where he was at. You know, they were probably looking for him, but yeah. And I showed him some of my early, and this was only when I was 6 months into making music, only 6 months into making music. I showed him some shit, and he was like, "Yo, this gives me these old Wu-Tang vibes." He's like, and he could tell that I was putting work in the craft. So I said, "Yo, the reason I came up here was to ask you to do a video, you know." And he was like, so as I'm asking him, finally, a half hour later, M80 comes up and Sloan Bone. You know Sloan Bone? Yeah, Sloan Bone was right there too. So we got out the car to talk with them. And he was like, "Yo, this is my guy." So he's the manager. He's the guy that does all the business. And I had him there in Crook, and they started throwing numbers across at each other, and they started going lower and lower. Like they gave me a hell. I was like, "Dude, hell yeah, I could do that. Let's do it."
Yeah.
And I told in the car, I told him my whole vision. Like, "Yo, I'm from a Native American reservation, and like I feel like I could be some difference. I feel I could do something, you know." And he was just feeling my whole thing. He's like, "Yo, I'm down. Let's do it." So and it's crazy because M80 was like, "Yo, what are you doing next week?" Royce the 5'9" is rolling through Crooks, you know. I was like, "Dude,"
yeah.
But I was like, I didn't have the chips to be doing all that to go. I was like, I need a couple more weeks, you know. But I wish I could have made it up there to even just be in the studio with Royce and them. You know,
Royce the 5'9", yeah, man.
Royce the 5'9", he's also
everybody that doesn't know Royce the 5'9". These are all cats that have been collaborating with that's like Eminem's clique from way back in the day. Royce the 5'9", Crooked Eye, all these guys. Actually, basically, that's like Shady Records right there. That was like Yellow Wolf, Crooked Eye, Joel Ortiz, all those guys. Yeah, absolutely.
All of them.
Yep. So that's crazy. They're like all very reputable names, and you got to work with all these dudes.
Yeah, man. It's good. And who else was there? Razcast was there.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yuck Mouth was there. I said Sloan Bone was there. Man, who else was there? Yeah, and we were just chilling, though. Like I didn't feel out of place. You know, like when they're like, "All right, little homie, it's time to go."
Right.
Like they didn't give me that at all. Like we were on a circle.
See, that's really cool. They weren't all like super
all of
like
them too. All of them.
Ego, like you're inferior to us. They were like, "Nah, you're one of us now." That's
and even though I didn't know like half the stuff they were talking about, but they were telling stories about Dre and stuff.
Yeah.
And for me to like stand in a circle where somebody was there with, and I was like, "Man, this is crazy." I was just soaking it up. Like I didn't have too much to chime in at the time, you know, but I was just soaking it up. And I was asking them all questions, which was dope. So shout out to M80 again.
Yeah.
I asked him, man, like a couple of business questions. And he was in the middle of answering my question and somebody needed him to go do something.
Yeah.
So he said, "Hey, I'll be back." And he walked away and I was like, "Oh, damn. Yeah, he's gone. You know, I ain't never going to hear the rest of that answer." And like 10 minutes later, he comes back and finished answering my question from where he left off. From where he left off. And I was like, "Oh, man, like, it was dope, man." So they felt my energy. I felt the energy. It was all cool. You know, so and then on the way back, I was like, "Yo, how am I gonna get these chips?" Like I was working at JD Malberg. Like it was cool chips, you know?
Yeah.
But I was like, I need chips faster. Like, what am I gonna do?
Right, yeah.
So I knew damn well I wasn't gonna sell anything that, you know, any illegal shit again. But I took lesson learned and a lesson really because I took the principles from doing that and just applied it to doing my merch.
Yes.
You know, so and I was like, well, I sold that for $20 a pop. I could sell a shirt for $20 a pop, double it, do it, double it, and if it's good merch, people are gonna get it.
Well, before we play this video too, speaking of your merch, show us your hat, bro.
Yes,
we've been behind the scenes, y'all, and check out this shit right here, y'all. Check this shit out.
So he's got his Spotify.
That real quick, brother.
He's got his Spotify on one side and
Perfect,
his QR code on the other, which is so freaking cool because I did ask him about it prior to the show. I was like, dude, that is awesome. Like,
his merch is
and then he's gonna get a tattoo.
Genius.
Yes.
So genius.
You're gonna get a tattoo.
Yes, you're
right?
talking about your
You
tattoo.
can walk up and just like
scan his hat.
Scan his hat with your phone, and all his merchandise and everything will pop up. His
Our
music,
bartender,
his retail, his everything.
So our bartender actually has this QR code on the back of her shirt.
Oh,
too,
yeah,
which
and
is
then on the
super
back of Daniela's shirt,
and
too.
his Spotify as well.
That's genius, y'all. Take notes.
Yes,
Hell
yeah. If you're gonna do it, do
really
it big.
fucking doing it big.
I do a lot of research and stuff, so I just did like a 5-day music seminar the other day.
Oh, okay.
Like it was online on Zoom. And I learned. I was taking notes and everything. I watched a lot of it. Like I'm trying to learn so I could teach it. You know what I'm saying? Like I just don't want to know it. Like I want to know it so I'm able to teach it. So that I could like tell like, yo, this is the blueprint right here. This is a new blueprint.
Yeah.
And with the help of
it's
M80,
the digital
like,
age blueprint, technically, right?
Yeah. Like yo, you got to do this first, and then we could do this. Like I mean, that's
Hell
that's just how
yeah.
I'm trying to do it.
Oh yeah.
Well, let's roll out this
bro.
video.
Yeah,
We're
let's
gonna roll
see
out
it. Yeah,
another one,
Crooked
right?
Eye giving a shout out over here to Sensei Sai when they did that track together. What was the name of the track one more time? It was
Guardians of
the Mastery. Guardians of the Mastery.
Oh wait, let me say this real quick too. I was working at JD Malberg.
Yeah.
It was 9 a.m. when I got this in my email.
Oh damn.
I just started. I was an hour in. I got there at 8. I'm calling these people and and I had my email because I was expecting it, and I got it, and I was like, yo, I was like, I'm
about to quit my job. Shit.
No,
like he won the lottery.
Dude, I quit my job, bro.
He actually did. I was just playing.
Shit, we were kidding.
I was just playing, y'all. He actually quit his motherfucking
Damn.
job. He was like,
He's like, can't do
baby,
this today.
no, I got me. M80 got me now.
Bro, I was like, I called my boss over. I said, hey, bro, I gotta go.
Damn.
I couldn't concentrate, bro. I couldn't concentrate. Like
We were messing with him.
I knew,
man.
so I went straight to the store and I bought some shit to make merch, and then
Hell yeah.
I went and made it, and then I started hitting the stores and the streets with it. And I was like hella motivated.
Bro, you know what's so
like,
funny? Simultaneously, this is you like constructing the story right now to tell all the kids that you go to speaker facilities, become a public speaker, what we were talking about. You could tell all these kids this story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kids that are trying to make it out the ghetto or like have no options really. You know what I mean? You tell them this story, they'll be like, that's crazy. See, that shit could happen to me. You just go up and like try to like introduce yourself at somebody's show like that. And if you make a good impression, that's how it is. You know what I mean? Like
There's a different
people
way to
really
slang.
do, and that's the thing that I've always seen too in a lot of different artists that I've worked with. If I have more of a reputable name than them, since I've been in like acting and worked with like really big names, you know what I mean? And people that come up to me like locally that want to do stuff with me too. With the key thing, yeah, Righteous 12, absolutely. Shout out to Chuck Williams and having the pictures of everybody too. $1.3 million Western feature that we just produced out here in Tucson. It's been awesome. But anyway, back to what I was getting at though, it's like that's what you always notice though, the guys that are the smaller fish that approach you, it's like persistence. That's what I always notice too. I'm like, how bad do they want it? They're going to show it with their actions.
Yeah.
Not how many times that they just like repetitively say it, but how much they persistently just keep like wanting
I
to
had
do
a
something.
conversation just about that with Crooked Eye and M80,
right?
Because I told them the process I went through to try to get a hold of both or Crook,
Yeah.
And I told him I send you emails, bro. I send you Instagram messages. I send you, and I go, and I was playing with the line of being persistent and being fucking annoying.
Right.
And they go, yeah, there is a line, but you have to know how to
not cross it.
Yeah, how to handle it. And he's like, yo, you handled it pretty good. Like, I went up there and everything just worked out perfect, man. Like it was dope. Oh yeah. So so I was in my job, got the email, and I was like, yo, I gotta go. And
I'm out.
Yeah.
Yo, I would take my recording equipment with me to work, and I would record in my car for an hour or whatever. Like,
hell yeah.
But yeah, so this is Crooked Eye,
So this is it, y'all. This is the shout out that he got. This is what made him quit his job right here.
Shit, we were just kidding, but I didn't know you actually quit your job.
That's hilarious, bro. That's funny. All right, let's check it out.
Let's play it. Turn up the
Yo,
volume.
Sensei, what's up, man? It's King Crook, man. I'm just shouting you out real quick. You know what I'm saying? Yo, dope joint. You know what I mean? Guardians of the Mastery. Because that's what we are, Guardians of the Mastery. You feel me? I like to shout out PYT at the same time, though. You feel me? Salute to you. Keep doing what you're doing, my brother. R.I.P. Vortex.
Hell
Yeah,
So that was really cool, man.
That was
so
awesome.
Since I explained to him everything, I explained to him the passing of my boy and how I got started. I explained to him where I'm from, the PYT, Bosco Yaqui tribe.
Yeah.
And like he took that in, you know what I'm saying? Like it was just crazy, man. Like
he could feel your roots and he could feel
like,
your passion. He could feel that from you, man. That's what's cool.
And the
That
type part
exchange of
about
energy.
being him, type part about him sitting there is like he never looked in the mirrors. He never looked at his phone. This fool was just on me for the whole half hour, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, a half hour uninterrupted.
That's awesome.
And I noticed he wasn't looking because I would have think like, yeah, he's gonna be looking around like, you know, just
more worried
being
about
in
his
the car with
environment.
somebody he don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like being at his status and stuff.
He gave you the undivided attention.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
fucking awesome.
You could feel that from you, though. That's what I was saying. That exchange of energy, man. He was like, "Oh, I ain't worried about nothing." This kid's just like a huge, super dope fan. That's like just trying to do what I was trying to do at one point in my life too. You know what I mean? Like he probably saw a lot of himself in you, bro. That's what's cool.
Yeah, and I didn't like fan out around him. Of course, I was like, "Hey, man, like." You're the adult, bro. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, yo, let's talk about this. And so I jumped straight into it. Like, yo, this is
straight business.
Yeah, and I was like, yo, this is why I'm here and this is what I'm trying to do. You know, like what am I? I'm not gonna dance around it. You know, I just told him straight up, and he was like, shit, let's do it. And I was like, oh, what? You know, like okay, yeah, you know, so.
That's awesome. Were we gonna?
Oh, your mom is still watching, man. That's awesome. She just
know.
left you another comment. She said, "Son,
you're
fabulous."
That's awesome.
Thank you for tuning in, Mama. Absolutely, we love.
Mama
We're very, very
Right.
lucky and very fortunate.
You did. I want to shake your hand. Honestly, I met him prior to this, so
very grateful to have your son on our show.
Person.
Absolutely.
It's cool to see his journey, and we know that you had a hand in that. So much kudos to you, sweetheart.
Yeah.
So
that's great.
Where do you see yourself in? Are we gonna play a video or what?
I thought we were gonna play the A&R video.
I was just gonna jump in. She was like,
yeah, let's do that too.
Well,
so
there's like story behind that too.
Okay.
All right. So story, and then we'll do the A&R
Yes.
one too. Here we go.
All right. So
he's like, let me buckle up and listen to.
Stories for today, but good stories, man.
I know we need some
Inspiring
popcorn and a
stories,
drink.
Your life is like a movie.
It's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy.
But anyways.
All right, so I was working with M80 to get dates set and everything like that. They were trying to come out in June. I was like, nah, bro, it's too hot in Arizona in June. Can't do it. It was like nobody's gonna be comfortable. It's not gonna be cool. So I try to push it as far as back as possible without making him think I'm bullshitting and like lagging. So I was like, yo, September. Let's do it in September. It's gonna be cooling down a little bit. Because I didn't want to push it to October, November, because he'd be like, "Yo, this was lagging," you know. He's like, you know? So, his thing is, you send half the chips, and then after, you get the other half.
Yeah, half up front, half.
Boom, boom. I sent him the chips, and he's like, "All right, we got the date set, blah blah blah." And I was like, I didn't even announce it yet. I didn't even say nothing because I was like, okay, what am I? I already had ideas what I was gonna do. I knew I wanted to shoot it at the casino at the Ava.
Yeah,
and people that worked there saw my journey. They knew my vision, so they passed on the message to other people, and then I got to talk to those people who are in charge of things, and I got permission to use the Ava to shoot a video there, which is crazy. I got DJ Jamar to be in the video.
Yeah,
so he's
shout out DJ Jamar. What's happening?
So he came through and he provided thank you. He provided the DJ for that thing. I rented out like a whole lighting thing. It was super dope. Destiny Olea, she sang on the hook.
Okay,
she killed it, bro. Like, yeah, she's a badass singer, mariachi. Like,
mariachi.
I think she was in Aslan, mariachi Aslan.
Oh, okay,
like, lead singer. I think that's the right one. I hope I'm not wrong, but like she's a killer singer. She's been singing since she was a little girl, and I wanted to provide another opportunity to somebody who's put in work too, and
yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Bye, tender.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, let's get that QR code on there.
Thank you.
Yes, look at her back. Lift up your hair, baby girl.
My back.
Awesome. Thank you.
Lift your back. Look at that code right there.
Yeah.
Lift it up.
Oh, there it is.
Right
QR
there.
code. And it's got the Spotify link also right there. Perfect.
You gotta like bend over.
Tell me what to do.
Bend over a little. There you go. Perfect.
See the front.
Yeah, show them the front. Show them what we did with it. It looks gorgeous.
How do we get like
scoop it?
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
right
tight.
there. Perfect.
Damn, that's tight, bro.
Fire.
Thank you for the drinks.
Yeah, so she hooked us up. I don't know what this is. This
I don't
kind of
know,
looks like an
but I don't
adios
wanna be
motherfucker.
drunk.
This kind of looks like an adios. Look, it's blue.
It's my favorite color.
I'm assuming.
Blue.
Let me taste it because I should know. I drank a lot of these. Ooh, girl, it kind of does taste like an adios.
Oh no, I can't.
She's trying to make you
go.
go. Trying to make you go night night.
Yeah.
It'll get drinking. It's all good. All right. Anyway, yeah. So.
Here, you could try it.
Try it.
I don't want to spill it on your phone.
Yeah.
Tastes like an adios.
Yeah.
It does. I told
Adios?
you. Yeah.
Adios, puta madre.
Try it.
So
Anyway, yeah, back to your story about M82. Also, with you getting acquainted with him before this video was shot.
Also,
You were talking about shooting the music video with Jamar, and then you lighted out, rented out some lighting equipment. Also,
the lights. Went there 7 a.m, cleaned that shit myself with a broom, like for real. They had a concert the night before. It was Ice Cube.
Oh, okay.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so through a mutual friend, I got to take them to Ice Cube VIP. You know what I'm saying? So we went, got them VIP, got them hotel rooms, suites, like the whole, to me it was a business meeting. It wasn't like bringing some celebrities out or something. To me, it was all business and like gotta treat them right, gotta show them like, hey, everything's cool. I want them to feel safe and everything, I mean, because they just came out, just them.
Yep.
They didn't come with people and stuff. It was just them, so the mural. Damn, the mural. Man, it's crazy.
There's a lot.
Yeah, so
like
there's an old Circle K, and it was, shitty looking. So I found out who I could get in contact to so I could paint something on there. So I did get in contact. I told them the story, told them my vision, told them what I want to do, told them my plans, and that they gave me approval to paint on that wall. So the same Robert who made this design right here, he made a little design for me, and yeah, it's dope. It is dope. And then we painted a mural of me and Crooked on that wall. And me and Sal Sawaki, we did it together. He was the main muralist. I just kind of helped him out with all the small stuff, but he killed it though. We both killed it. And
where is it located though?
It's on Valencia and Camino del Oeste.
Okay.
So it's like right there.
No, it's like right up here.
Yeah, we're on the south side.
Only on the south side.
Southwest side.
Southwest.
Yeah. So, and my whole thing was like, I need to get it done before I pick up Crook from the airport. Yeah. Because I'm putting them up at the Del Sol. So when we pass by it,
you want him to see
it.
Yeah.
So my cousin Julio came down from Phoenix. He owns a little dope car shop. Glee Autos. Shout out to Glee Autos in Tempe.
Yeah, shout out Glee Autos. Hell yeah.
And he came down with a nice little Mercedes G-Wagon, bro. Like I was like, I need to pick him up in something dope,
Yeah.
So we picked him up and we were rolling through, and I was like, hey, Crook. And I just pointed, and he was like, yo, and then him and his friend were like, yo, this is crazy. So we pulled over there, we got some pictures and stuff, and then, and then we went, put him up in the hotel, and then we went to Ice Cube later that night, and then the next day we shot the video on a Sunday. So some problems that happened with some people who were gonna shoot the video, and they didn't shoot the video. So I had 2 backup guys who I just, again, trying to put them on. Like, I know one of my homies from the hood, he bought a camera, all his own money, and he's trying to, and I saw he was trying to learn how to do, whatever he was trying to do with his cameras. Yeah. I was like, hey, man, I got this big thing coming up. Do you want to be a part of it? Put your name on it and this and that. I'm trying to help you, and then another friend, he was doing media for the tribe and stuff. I hit him up. I saw, and they're good people and stuff too, so I was like, yo, do you want to work on this project, help you out your profile, saying, I know where you guys are from, I know what you're trying to do. And they're like, hell yeah. So I had 4 people doing it, 2 dropped out. So them 2 who've never shot a video in their life, I was like, hey man, I need you guys to slide in, bro. Like this happened last minute. And they both handled it like professionals. Shout out to Stevie and shout out to Elijah.
Hell yeah.
And, they showed up and showed out.
They showed up, man, and they were moving. When we started shooting, I was directing and everything, So I was like, and they just understand the assignment. Is that what it is?
Yeah, understood the assignment. Hey.
And man, the way they were just moving around, like it was beautiful, man. The way everything just happened. And M80 saw what the problems I was going through, because I was mad, bro, at night because of what happened with the other people.
Yeah.
And Adrian was with me, M80, Crooked Eye, and his friend. And bro, and my energy, anger, bro, furiousness was, and I'm sitting at Ice Cube VIP, mad as a motherfucker, dude.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Yo, you cool, bro?" Like, I could feel your energy. You're mad. I was furious. You know what I'm saying? And M80 saw everything that I was going through and how I handled everything.
Right.
And of course, money and all that stuff, everything was straight, you know. And so after the video shoot, you know, it was about 10, but I was exhausted. I was up from 6 a.m. cleaning the Ava, doing all this stuff, and it was, you know, a little hot still. I was exhausted, bro. M80 calls me. He said, "Hey, you still here?" I said, "Yes, I'm getting some tacos right here, abuelitas." He goes, "Come to my room. I got something for you." I was like, "Oh shit," you know, like, well, I don't know what it is, because he's very business, so he doesn't have like a comedic tone. He is funny on IG and shit, but the way he called me, he was just like, I was like, "Oh shit," you know. And I'm thinking to myself, like, damn, you know,
what could it be?
Yeah, you know, like, so we go and he's already waiting in the lobby, and he's just like serious, you know, like, "Yo, have a seat," you know. I'm like, "Oh fuck," like, and I'm trying to think back, like, all my shit, like, what did I not do something to not tie end, or what did I forget, or you know, what happened? He's like, "Yo, have a seat," and he told the homies, "Yo, pull your cameras out." I was like, "Oh shit!" And first, I'm tired and I don't know what he's about to do or say, you know. So I'm sitting next to him, and he gives me like this thing I could never even. You can't even pay for it you can't pay for it. Like it's priceless. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I just couldn't believe that he did this, because being the biggest A&R in the game, like with DMX, like he did everybody. Wu, like Cannabis, whoever, you know, he did everybody. So he gave me this.
Gave you this shout out right here. Here we go. Sensei Sai's shout out that he got from A&R right here, yo.
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna try to keep it on 2 minutes so you can, like, you know, all that shit.
All right,
good?
I'm recording.
What's up, y'all? This is M80, and I just want to give a special shout out to Sensei Sai. You see on the internet, you know, a lot of people who are promoters or just independent artists coming up are often kind of, you know, disrespected, labeled as doing bad business in the industry, because, you know, again, when you're coming up, it's not like you're supposed to know everything. We're in an industry where you gain experience as you go. A lot of this can't be taught. And he brought us out here, myself and Crooked Eye, for a video shoot after he had done a verse with Crooked Eye months prior. And rather than promulgating a story of, man, another janky promoter or another bad business experience, it's really important that we give props and give the flowers where it's due to those who did nothing but right by us. Booked the flights on time, booked the hotels on time. If we needed our meals taken care of, they were provided for. Deposit on time, back end on time, even extra accommodations like treating us the night before to an Ice Cube show. Apparently there was some problems the night before with the video shoot that was scheduled for today with a local company in Tucson. But Elijah and Steven, shout out you guys, came through in the clutch, made sure that, you know, Sensei had everything back on track where he needed to be. Like, the last thing an artist needs when they're about to have one of the biggest experiences of their musical career, of their career plight, is a headache, especially a day of headache. And I want to thank all those at the reservation, all those at Casa Soul, and you know, Crooked Eye, myself. I want to thank myself too. You know, I did a nice job coordination, but really thank you, because we encounter so much bad business in the course of what we do that it's always great just to have a really easy, breezy, proper work experience. And be on the lookout for the new joint, Sensei, Crooked Eye, what's it called?
Guardians of the Mastery.
Guardians of the Mastery. That video's dropping soon.
Guardians of the Mastery.
So this is M80. Learn from me. Follow my man. Stay tuned for that video. Appreciate y'all.
Yo, that is fucking beautiful. So Loki, I gotta ask you something real quick. How did it feel to get that big of like recognition just for you like being on the grind?
Honestly, back to that too. He recognized like how, because he knows he's been in the game for a while. He knows how stressful that is. When someone backs out and you've already got a big ass artist out here, you were probably going fucking nuts. Like if I were in your shoes, because I've done that too. I've been in your shoes, bro, where something falls short like right at the last minute. And you're like, what the fuck am I supposed to do now?
I'm talking like 6 hours before the shoot, bro.
Wow.
Like it shit just
I
happened.
imagine, bro. That shit sounds so stressful. He recognized it though, then gave you props still. That's
just so you know, in the future, we know a videographer that's fucking amazing.
Well, we could always do your shit too. Not just bar talk, but we
hook you up with straight up.
I got some other shit coming through that was
cool,
No,
man.
I mean,
good for you, brother. That's awesome that he actually did that because he wouldn't have done that if he didn't mean it. You know what I mean?
But how did it feel?
He doesn't do that shit. Like he mentioned,
he's like all business. He don't do like that is priceless. Like you couldn't. I don't know how much you would pay for him to do that.
Yeah,
it's like credit in the, and I'm like, oh
no, I've watched it a few times honestly, and I was like, damn, that's big. Like, and you could tell that at first you didn't know what the fuck was going on.
I didn't know what he was gonna say, honestly.
Yeah, but then you were just like, oh shit, like this is really happening. He is giving me props, and that's freaking amazing.
Because my mind was still in a whole bunch of like, like
you're like, what did I fuck up? It's like,
like
where did I?
Yeah,
because he's a business. He don't like he's funny on his gram and stuff like that, but he's not like
business is
like
business,
a joker, like to business wise, So I was like, damn, because I know he means business, and absolutely. I did too. So that's why I was like, damn, what? Like, did I miss something? Did I, But I didn't.
Yeah, no, it took you a second to come to what was going on, and I think it was just so real.
And when I first put that up, like people were hitting me up, like, "Yo, like you look like." I was like, "Dude, I was so tired. I was exhausted mentally. Everything, like."
Yeah,
it was dope.
That's fucking awesome.
That actually goes into another question that we have for you over here. What have you had to sacrifice to get to where you are today?
Yes, absolutely.
The biggest and the main thing that messes with me sacrifice wise, because like I said, I quit my job. I was like, yo, I know something is out. I know it. Not there was a chance, like I know it, so I know I'm gonna do that shit. But my daughter, splitting the time, because I spend so much time with her, like a lot of time with her, developing her and everything like that. But she understands the assignment.
Yes,
she was there. She met Crook. She was there to watch the video. Like she helps me with my merch. Like she helps make my merch.
Yeah,
like, she's on the iron and everything. Like,
I've seen it. It's the cutest freaking thing ever.
Yeah, she's really talented. Like
and
her
she knows
skills,
every word to every song that he has out better than he does.
Yeah,
like she trips him out. Swear to God, it's the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, she sits in my studio with me, and I'm like, hey, Dad needs to work on this for this much time. You can watch your tablet. I'll build her a little bed in there, and she's chilling with her snacks, and like say I'm rapping a verse and I mess up, or I'm too slow on a part or whatever, and I'm like, damn, and she's like, Dad, you get it? No, not this time. She's like, all right. And then I'll go and she's like, Dad, you get it? Like, so she's in there, so she's hearing me do it repetitively, so she's getting the lyrics too, and like babies just soak up everything so fast,
Yes.
Yeah, so she like she knows what it is. And then one time we were watching a Crooked Eye video on YouTube, and she's like, she's 5, she was 4 when she said this. She was like, Dad, how does he live in our world? Like, because she saw it, And I was like, damn, like, oh.
Babies say the realest shit.
Yeah,
though,
I was like,
really. Do you feel her like following in your footsteps just because she's so
like
exposed to it?
Yeah, well, I mean, I introduced her to everything, So she's been doing art shows. She started her first art show when she was 2. And she sold like art and merch and stuff. Like I made her own merch. She had stickers to sell. And then COVID happened, so the art shows got shut down and stuff. So she did a couple of them though. But she's like a really talented painter. Like she's dope.
Awesome.
And she's 5 years old. Like, but she sees everything I do, and I want her there to see what I'm doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
I want her there to see me when I'm frustrated. I want her when I get something tight and do like, hell yeah, we did that, so she knows all the emotions that happen. That some things might not go the way you planned it, but there's always something you could do about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so she gets to see all that and pick that up, and she's super smart. It's crazy. But Yeah, she's dope. Shout out to my baby.
Yes, it's
shout out
awesome
to
to
her.
see. She's super adorable. I
Shout
told
out
you.
to RZA Amaru. Absolutely.
I seriously think this fool got me like. He kind of put it out in the universe when I like saw his daughter. I was like, oh my God, I really want a daughter. And then I ended up getting pregnant. And I was like, damn, yo, like, I think you catfished me. She's absolutely beautiful. It's so cool to see her like super involved in what you're doing. And she just loves it. She's like your number one fan. And it's gorgeous.
Yeah, sorry, but back to the sacrifice thing. Like,
Yeah.
I know sometimes I have to be in the booth and I have to do it. Because when I first started to do like really buy my own studio stuff and when she would, because you know I have split custody, right? So she goes to her mom's for some of the days, she comes to me. But when she was coming to me, I would stop rapping for the whole 4 to 5 days, and I had to learn like, yo, I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't hide it from her. Not that I was hiding it from her, but I can't like just stop what I'm doing because I would do everything with her. We do activities, we'll go places or whatever. But I was like, yo, I have to keep, because after when she would leave, I would jump back in the booth and feel like I haven't been in there forever.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, I gotta do something, So she was either in there with me or she's doing something like with my mom or like with my niece and nephew or something. Or I'm like, hey, I need this hour or I need this hour and a half. Like you guys know, I had to explain to everybody too, like, yo, what I have, this opportunity, it's not common. You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't happen just like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so they like you go back to the family support and stuff. Like now everybody's, they understand because they're seeing it now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
absolutely.
See it to believe it, I guess,
Oh, thank you. Oh my goodness. Whew. Whew. I need strength for alcohol.
she's got me like trying to run to the bathroom right now. Like,
No, I'm good.
do you want some water?
No, I got water right here.
Okay. Everybody good?
Red Bull.
Yeah,
I think
did you get more? Oh, you got more wine. Yes, thank you very much, Danielle. Appreciate it.
You want Rebel?
No, I'm good, Mama. Thank you.
Okay.
So where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Damn.
It seems like you got an empire built already, but
like really, it like I do want to say where I want to be or where I see myself in 5 years, but I'm gonna be a little bit more careful and not say it because I haven't built that yet.
Okay.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I've noticed that too. When it comes to like certain different manifestations, of course, there's like speaking it into the universe, right? But sometimes it's like jinxing it too, because there's always like this. We've all noticed like the tendency of the universe's response to us. It's usually like a delayed reaction, right? But sometimes it's like jinxing it. Like I've noticed that too. Like, because if you say it, I don't want to say it too soon. I always say that too. I feel you on that. I feel you.
So, but like honestly, like damn. That like,
or should I rephrase that?
Like I don't want to be like famous. You get what I'm saying? Like that's not why I'm doing it, and that's not my goal. I really don't want to. Excuse me.
Oh, you're good. Sir.
Like I want to go like to a restaurant with my daughter and shit. Like I'm not trying to do that. But like I'm trying to be like Crook, because Crook can still go whatever. Yeah, he's gonna have people come up to him, but it's
Crook's
not like
the sleeper lyricist,
bro.
He's a super sleeper lyricist.
He's not really famous to that
like,
point.
Well, he's
not
like
yet.
Super.
Well, he is. He
was on like BET Awards, like Cypher Session. He's been like through a lot of cool shit.
So this is the tight part. So when I brought him out here, not only did I get all that time with him at the video shoot and stuff, but after everything, I had like 3 or 4 hours with him just sitting outside the casino.
Yeah.
And he smoked 2 cigars, bro. And I was asking him so many questions. Like that was, I mean, because when you're gonna get to sit with a legend uninterrupted, of course I was gonna ask him some bullshit questions. I was like, yo, how yeah. No, I was like, yo, how do you do this? When I get to here, what am I like? Yeah. What did you, or how did you feel when you were here? And how do you this and that? And he was answering all my questions, like it was dope.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And what was I saying about that?
Just where you say yourself in 5 years.
You were asking him a lot of
questions.
You were talking to Crooked though.
Oh yeah, so I was just saying about his status, you know what I'm saying? Like he's hella famous, but so there he was gonna retire. He's like, yo, I'm gonna retire. I thought I had his last video, so I was like,
oh no shit.
Yeah, so it felt real good, and like he said, I'm gonna retire. I'm putting it up. I'm not doing anything else. I might do a couple features here and there, but I'm done. But then the whole Slaughterhouse thing happened with Joe Budden and Royce the 5'9". So they're a group of 4 that signed with Eminem's group, and they're called Slaughterhouse, right?
Yeah.
They're all badass lyricists. You know Joe Budden, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Joe Budden, Royce the 5'9", Joel Ortiz, and
Joel
Crooked Eye.
Ortiz, Crooked Eye, Yellow Wolf, and then I think that was it actually.
No,
That was
well,
everybody.
Yellow was with Shady, but not in Slaughterhouse.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. That's right.
So so they made an album, and they were supposed to keep doing more stuff, and they're like one of the best groups that never happened. You know what I'm saying? It happened, but they didn't live up to the potential because of this and that and that and that. So after so many years, Crook was ready to put it to bed and be like, okay, we're not making any music as a group, so I'm just gonna put it to bed and leave it at that. So him and or they try to do a joint thing because Crook went out and got a deal, which like was good for everybody. This is all everything Crook told me before all the shit even happened, right?
Yeah.
So he told me, yeah, it means you all have something, but we don't know what we're gonna do with it, this and that. And then the beef, like, it's not beef. Like, was it beef? I don't know. It was misunderstandings
Between
beef,
Crooked Eye and Joel Ortiz?
And no, with the whole Slaughterhouse.
Oh, like.
Oh, okay.
I feel what you're saying. Because it was like it was like almost like a for sure thing, right? Because they had that whole thing. Like the thing I'm referring to is like one of the dopest fucking side positions that's ever happened on BET Awards, and that was like between Slaughterhouse and Shady Records. But they were like a merge, almost like two merged like actual entities, right, of business. And then like I don't know what happened, bro. Well, because like I heard some like
it is a whole thing. Like I
between
do know
Joe Budden and then like him wanting to do his own shit too, and then there was like
Joel was doing the podcast thing, so he thought,
exactly.
Well,
that's what I heard too.
He thought the bag because he was making good money doing the podcast thing, so
Joe Budden still does his podcast.
Yeah. And I guess he thought the bag wasn't great enough for him to rap again or whatever. Anyway, so there was a whole thing. Anyway, it's a whole like hip hop conversation.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Crooked Eye and Joel, which is his boy, put out an album last month.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's gonna put out a new album in June. Brand new one, and then he's gonna work on a solo project.
Oh, shit.
And then he's jumping into battle rap. So right now he's living his second life.
Yeah.
Crooked Eye.
Oh.
So Crooked Eye was signed with Death Row, right? And then of course it was Pac, Dre, Pac, Snoop, and then Crook was up next. But since Suge went to jail, Suge Knight went to jail, the industry blackballed Death Row as a whole. So Crook didn't get his fair chance because he was, So then after a little
timing,
so he went solo and he dropped a grip of fire shit, and then Eminem picked him up for Shady Records and gave him like a second life or his second chance, you will. But now he's living a second chance, or not chance. I don't want to say chance, but a life, because now he's like reviving. He was about to call it quits,
rapping,
which works out for me.
Yeah,
because when I dropped the song in the video, which I'm waiting for and being strategic about, I didn't want to be too like. My patience is like on a god level.
You gotta wait for your opening though,
like,
too. No, that's some real shit when it comes to being in the industry. Those of you that don't know, a lot of artists, they like strategically will drop their songs. Every single big artist has talked about it. Jay-Z's talked about it too. He's like, when he had freaking Rockefeller records.
Jay-Z drops something every time Nas drops something.
Yeah,
every time.
He's like, this is my only window to do this shit. Yeah. And that's always his business, but they've always been competitive too. But like, I remember I was watching this thing on let's go back to the Breakfast Club, and Jay-Z was getting interviewed on that. He was talking about back when like 50 Cent first released the record in the club. He was telling everybody at Rockefeller Records, he's like, you guys better hurry up and put out your fucking music because 50 Cent's coming. And when he comes, you motherfuckers aren't going to be able to sell any fucking records. And look what happened. 50 Cent's in the club is like the hottest record ever fucking sold, like into this day. But that's the shit that you don't even really hear about unless you like go and like kind of like catalog and research those type of things, right? Like what were all the other record labels doing that were competing with 50 Cent at the time when he dropped it in the club? They were like, we got to wait for this wave to ride out. That's what Jay-Z said. He's like, I told them niggas, and as soon as 50 Cent in the club dropped, like nobody else was able to sell any records for like 4 months. Hot, so everyone's just sitting there like, fuck, I'm not making any money. Yeah, I told y'all motherfuckers to start trying to make your money before this record drops, because you're not going to be able to. So he's like, you got to just let this wave ride out for like 4 months until he's not as hot anymore, and then you can try to sell records again.
Yeah. So
that's how that shit happens in the industry.
Like I wanted to drop the song and the video way before, but I knew about the first album, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna wait a little bit. And I had people like, yo, man, the buzz already died, because I shot it in September, right, and I still haven't put it out. But people are like, yo, it's already too late. Your buzz died already. People are, and I'm like, yo, if I would have put it out before, if everything falls down, it's going to fall on me, not you guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, so I don't take anybody's shit. You know, I'm like, yo, I'm gonna do it when I'm gonna do it because I paid for everything. I did everything, and I didn't know about the new album that's dropping in June. So Crook dropped the one that just dropped. So I was like, hell yeah, his buzz is up. You know, like hell yeah. And then he announced the second one, so it gave me more time because I'm saving because I have to push it. You know, you have to pay for certain things, paid advertisement, marketing. You know, so you have to. I have to pay for that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I have to put it out there. I have to put it in the right people. And if I just throw it out there and do it on Facebook, hey, share, look at my song. Like you have to go for Google ads, YouTube ads. You have to do all that shit, and it takes money. Like
that's the thing with producing digital content nowadays too, man. It's like the buzzes nowadays with how like short fused everything is with like even just the way that we're programmed now with just like freaking, you know, spontaneous like instant gratification, for example, too. It's so weird. It's so like the buzz is like shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter nowadays with how much content that's getting produced online. So it's like you used to be able to ride out the buzz back to like 50 Cent in the club back in the early 2000s for months. Now you can ride it out for like weeks and that's about it. You know what I mean? So that's like your peak windows. It's like trying to jump through that little fucking portal hoop thing like in the movie Doctor Strange. You're like, that shit is going to be moving. That window of opportunity is going to be moving while you're running towards it. And then you got to jump in while it's moving across. That's what's crazy about today's industry. It's very competitive, but it's very just like, I won't even say oversaturated because there's a lot of good music out there still, of course. But I'd say it's just like, there's like a high volume of saturation. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
Big time. Yeah.
But so, you've done it. I've seen it.
So I'm just being like real strategic about it and knowing when I gotta drop it and being patient. And of course, man, you got a song in a video with fucking a legend. Of course you want to drop it. Of course I want to drop it. But like I said, right now I feel like my patience is like on a god level.
Like, not to brag, y'all, but we got some exclusive hearing of that the last time Sensei Sai was in the studio with us. It was dope. We got to hear the track. It was
when we did that.
But just be on the lookout though. If you have any release dates or anything.
I remember that, and I remember Jacob's reaction to it, man, and I like it got me because I like that's my baby. You know what I'm saying? Like how much I put into it.
Guardians of the Mastery, y'all. Guardians of the Mastery.
Yes.
I want to listen to it.
No, like literally, I told him it was so funny because he was like, I mean, I'm sorry. I was like, oh my God, like it made me feel so. It really did. It made me feel some type of way. Like I couldn't explain it. Like
I want to listen to
I just
it
got kind of like sucked in.
Wait for it to drop now.
I hear it. This song is so
I got
good,
like sucked in
you
and
guys
pulled
had
in.
jalapeno poppers.
Yes,
like,
it was.
When did I ever get some jalapeno poppers?
Yo, we posted it. You just were.
I wasn't
we
here,
did.
I've never had some
Dude,
jalapeno
the
poppers.
brought like a
yes,
like it was.
That was
like
we were Sierra, yeah, bitch. I love
Sierra's
you.
the shit. Sierra, if you're watching, you the shit. We love you.
But yeah, like we heard it, and I like looked at him, and I was like almost in tears, and I was like, bro, like
no, Jacob made me go into tears.
That made me feel some type of way, like literally made me feel some type of way.
I was telling him because we were on the podcast. I knew we were recording, yo, but like I'm not scared to show emotions, you know. And Jacob, I didn't know him. I just met him that night. And then he was like, yo, he told me his real feelings. And I was like, fuck, it fucked me up. Like it got like, cause I care about it, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, yo, like, I don't care. You could show it. Like, I'll go.
It was
like,
beautiful.
Yeah, but
that night was all the vibes, man. Not just it's a vibe, but plural. It was all the vibes.
I can't wait to go see the video too, because
oh man,
like,
I didn't see it.
Like, I'm telling you, man. Like,
we'll talk about it later.
We'll see the
we'll get the
debut
couples,
exclusive.
Like certain people, like Motor King.
Oh,
yes, Motor King.
Shout out to Motor City.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's the homie right there, too.
So the first night I met him, he had a Nipsey shirt, and we started chopping it up.
Yes.
And I was like, yo, I got
Motor
this
King
track.
City.
And we went out to my ride. I didn't know him. And we went out to the ride, and I showed him. He was like, dog, that's the one.
I know.
Like, and I was like, dude, like,
you.
dog, like, I didn't know him. And he could have been hating. You know, he could have been like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's all right. You know, and then we go back into the club, but he was like, yo, that's the one. I was like, shit. And Jamar, too, was like, yo. And Jamar too, like
Jamar is very, very like honest about music.
Honest and supportive too.
Yeah,
because Jamar was the first one I hit him up because I knew he was doing sets at the Hideout.
Yes.
Know? Oh yeah.
And it was like a Wednesday or Thursday night. It was something like a chill night, and I hit him up and I was like, hey, I got these songs. I never performed them. Can you let me perform them while you're setting up or something, just so I could hear myself on the mic, like live? He's like, yeah, come through. So I did, you know, I was there for like a half an hour, did a couple things till people started coming. So Jamar, you know, he gave me that first little, you know, to let me hear myself on the mic, and instead of
Etching
being like,
your step, bro.
yeah, he wasn't like, oh, I got the time, I got to set up, and he was like, yeah, cool. So because of that, I was like, yo, want to be in this video, you know? So he was like, yeah, he came through, hooked it up.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Shout out to
else.
Jamar.
Yeah,
I know, we love
another
Jamar.
shout out to Jamar. Yeah,
DJ Jamar, guys.
He's like good people with us. I've known Jamar for like 15 years. The first show that I did with Jamar was like 12 years ago, and it was at like The Rock back when, you know, that was like the original owner. And it's just been cool ever since. I've like hired him for things. He's hired me for things. He's had me like headline for his shows too. Like I did a show for him at like CD's Jamaican Kitchen. It was like me headlining as like one of like the spoken word poetry artists. It's been cool. I have a really good business and just like friendship with Jamar. He's good people, absolutely.
Yeah.
Really good.
We've
really,
been in past
really,
many
really good
years,
associate
so.
of Bar Talk TV.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
so damn, what was I going with that?
Oh,
We
that
were
you
letting,
should
he was
video.
letting you perform.
And then the video.
Yes.
It was Jamar came in the video. You were talking about how he.
What was I talking? I was saying something about the video.
Damn, yo. He got mixed up. It's okay.
It was about the song in the video.
Mm-hmm.
Jacob. Damn, I forgot that whole point.
And then the debut of it now coming up.
See, honestly, I didn't.
Feelings, like you felt that made
Yeah,
you feel
I didn't finish watching the video, so I don't know if that's one of the parts that aired on the original one that we
It was way
released.
towards the later part.
But yeah, like you did. I could feel your emotion, and that was one of the conversations
So are
that
we
we
gonna,
had.
like, watch it or not?
We can't.
No,
because it hasn't been released
Not
yet.
yet, not
It
yet.
hasn't
We're
been
talking
released
about
yet.
something
We'll
I'll show
talk
you the
about
song
it after the
after.
show.
Okay, cool.
After the show, but like literally,
No offense,
like,
y'all.
it was
gonna
it was
drop
so
real
beautiful,
soon.
and I literally felt so blessed just to be a part of it and just to hear it. Because I'm telling you, girl, like there are very few things that like get me, but that was one of them where I was like,
See, I
was crying on the inside, like low key, I was crying on the inside because I could feel you. Yes, I need to know when this is coming out.
That's what he's been talking about, y'all.
Yeah,
it's
that's what
undetermined right now
Yeah.
because he's still trying to ride out the waves of like Crooked Eye dropping his new shit, like he's been saying. Yeah.
So Crooked Eye is gonna drop a new album late June. So I
I
have until late June, early
July.
You know, but I'm not trying to go that far. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So
Yeah,
like real, like I'm gonna say like within a month. Like
Okay.
The song and of course advice I got from M80. I said, okay, when I do this, all questions I was asking him.
Yeah.
You know, typically you're gonna drop the song first, and then 2 weeks later you drop the video.
Yes.
You know, because that's just stuff. I'm like, cool, write that
Damn,
down.
so he was giving you like specific.
Oh,
time
bro, yeah, I
frames
know.
of
Because
what's
I was
effective.
asking him.
Yeah. So where can
He
we
was
peep
giving
it
you the
out?
effective formula. Wow, that's amazing.
Bro, like,
That's really cool.
I was really asking him those type of questions. You know,
Yeah.
like,
Oh, you're smart.
and I asked him
That's
this
what
and
all
that,
the
and he goes, "Oh, anything under 5 or everything over 500, put in contract.
Yeah.
If it's under, you could take that as a loss, but anything
Right,
over
yeah.
500, you put in contract in writing. Because all this shit, and I'm asking him these questions, and he's telling me, and usually he charges for that type of information, like
for that consultation.
yeah, for
right?
that
Yeah.
consultation, like.
Yeah.
And again, I said, "Hey, man, thank you, because I was asking him questions. Even up in Phoenix, like I said, he walked away for a whole 10 minutes, and they came back and picked up right from what he was saying. And I was like, damn, like, thank
Yeah.
you, like, I asked Razcash a bunch of questions. Razcash, Crook,
I know you were saying
yeah, so. I mean, I guess I could say this here. I'm gonna say it here. I got to join a Razcast about to drop too.
Shit.
Oh
okay.
shit.
Yeah.
So you're making moves, man.
Yeah.
Straight-
So
straight
Razcast, he's
from the
another
dirt.
legend. Like
from the desert dirt out here, y'all.
I
You
haven't told, I
see
haven't, I
Sensei out
haven't, I
here?
haven't told anybody
From the-
about Razcast yet. So this is the first time.
He's dropping it
from
on
the
Bar Talk
bottom of the
TV.
Sahara Desert.
And Razcast is about to drop an album.
Actually, no, not the Sahara, the Sonora.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah. So are we gonna see any of this new stuff at Hotel Congress on June 8th? Like,
Yeah, I'm gonna do a couple of new joints there, and then some fan favorites.
For the fans that have tuned in and don't know about this show yet, go ahead and tell us what's your show that's coming up.
Yeah, so June 8th at Club Congress.
Awesome.
Called Congress Takeover.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hotel Congress Takeover. Look for it, everybody, on
June 8th
social
is a
media.
Wednesday. I think the cover is like $5 or something like that.
Oh,
Not bad.
The Demons of South Tucson reached out to me.
yeah.
They're dope. They're I don't know how to explain their genre. It was like rock.
Yeah, because that's how
I
it's.
don't know how to. We're all different, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
It is
definitely
definitely more rock, I would
diverse.
say.
It's really
but they're
diverse.
super
Definitely
dope.
more rock.
Intertwined. they're super dope. They're about to drop an album. Shout out to Gabriel Otero.
Yeah, Gabriel
Hell
Otero.
yeah.
Absolutely. That's who contacted me about the show. We're like, oh shit, we had Sensei Sai.
Yes.
Yeah. It ended up working perfectly.
DJ Snake.
DJ Snake.
And what is the other band? Lost Republic. There you go.
We'll post the flyer too, just when we have the event coming up. So excited to announce also, now that we have everybody on the show, we're actually going to be doing event coverage as Bar Talk TV out in the field at Hotel Congress that night too for Sensei Sai show. And Sensei invited us out to do it.
Man. I'm excited for you guys to do
We
it.
accepted, and we were like, hell yeah, we would love to come do a show for you guys.
The vision I had in my head when I called you, you said it right to me. I'm like,
yes.
Like, yo, that's what I was picturing, bro. Like, we on the same page. It's gonna be dope.
Absolutely.
That was a recent. Yeah, we just had that conversation on Monday. You're like, hey man, you want to be? I was like, dog, we've already been discussing this, bro, and like been to reach out to you. And that was perfect.
Yeah,
perfect.
so keep a lookout.
Boom, boom. Yeah.
If y'all follow us on any type of social media platform, I have shared it. I don't know if you shared it. D, go on my Facebook. Let's go ahead and share that.
We have a flyer that we could roll out also too, where we have like just a kind of like the joint partnership that we're doing now with Sensei Sai. But we'll roll it out though as the week progresses and into next week.
So
Absolutely.
Keep peep out for that. Hell yeah.
So yeah, absolutely. I'm really excited, you guys. This is going to be one of our, since we've been starting to do some field work the last couple of months, this is one of the more earlier stages of our field works that we're doing. So we're really excited though. And this is a big branch up to us because we made our first debut into actually the downtown scene when we went to Thunder Canyon. Now we're going to Hotel Congress, even more of a reputable venue for concerts and for different artists that are on the come up here in the city. So I'm really excited to be out there with you. And I'm really excited to get our team out there too. Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm gonna have a DJ there with me.
Hell yeah.
It's gonna be here. Like, it's a rock hip hop fusion concert, and I'm gonna represent hip hop for that night. So
yeah, absolutely. Well, you look for this too. Oh yeah, by the way, because I know a lot of our viewers are very familiar with Hotel Congress layout. So out of all the different stages, which one are you rocking that night?
Where are you gonna be at?
I'm not sure what it's called, but it's the inside.
The inside.
Okay.
The inside one, yeah.
So you've got so everyone that's viewing, so you got the tap room, and then you've got like that one stage up there, right? That's like to the left.
Yeah, and they got like a brand new stage outside. Like, it's really nice.
Yeah, they have the patio.
Yeah, I wish we could do it out there. It's gonna be hot.
No, it's just super hot.
Yeah, but so you're gonna inform me.
What time it start?
What time is it?
Oh yes.
Okay, 7
Good.
o'clock, guys.
That's a great question, D. So doors open at 7 p.m. And then, do you have a set list or anything that you would go
I've
over?
been working on that.
Cool.
Rehearsing at work. Got my headphone in. I'm walking, doing my thing, and I'm like rapping to myself. And like people are looking at me like, "This who's talking to himself?"
The next track.
Yeah.
Because you got to realize too, when you're an artist that's
some
performing. Oh, I'm good. Thank you very much, Omar. Head security. Shout out to Omar. Thank you very much, sir.
Yes, Omar.
Yeah, and and I've been studying like live because this will be my only second show. Like, the first show I threw at my house by myself, had some performers come up, Exquisite, Beans for Real, Fame.
Dope.
And I did it like in my front yard, like in a little dead end. Built my own stage and everything, and had lights. I had a food truck there. We had it was dope. The cops were like cool with it. I had fireworks at the end.
That's what's up.
They're like, "This is Sensei." Cool.
I did it up, man. I did it up. My boy Sal, we did the mural together. Like a cool backdrop, And it was a pretty good show. It was cool. It was my first time. And the reason I threw that show because I needed to do it. I needed to take that step, And that was my second show. And I'm like, okay, it's a process, you know what I'm saying? And I need people to get there to put that pressure on me so I could get to that next level.
Absolutely.
But like I said, I've been practicing. I'll jump up on my roof, on my porch. And I'll be practicing up there. I put up my speaker and I bought like a little mic and shit,
Nice.
So I'm up there. Nah, like they be out there. Like I'm pretty sure
they don't say nothing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure everybody in my neighborhood knows what's going on by now because I'm out there practicing my songs and I'm sitting in the car and I'm fucking writing songs in there and I'm like loud and I'm like, yo, if you guys hear it, you guys hear it. But mind your business, and you're lucky you're hearing this. So.
That's true. You're like, this is an exclusive. You ain't got shit to say.
People are gonna be like, oh, he used to sing on the top of his roof.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell you,
watching the dishes, there's Sensei again.
Yep, 10 years from now, they're gonna be like, yo, I used to hear that motherfucker rehearsing.
And that's just I guess like one of the lesser known facts. It's kind of like more of an interesting fun fact too. Coming from just an artist like myself that's been like performing and like for a very long time also, the biggest things that you actually do rehearse whenever you are rehearsing for a live show is like your interludes in between that. So like, what are you going to say in between each song, right? That's mostly what it
I was
is.
going with.
You're like, okay, so I'm going to have this dead time in between me playing this track and this track and then rapping it. What am I going to say in between this? Like, what's my transition to the
That's
song?
exactly what I was
If you
going
want to talk about that, by all means,
yeah,
go ahead. Absolutely.
I mean, that's the whole reason I was going with it, because I've been studying, you know, jump on YouTube and watch like Nas's live performances, and not only, but yeah, that's what I'm watching, what he does in those empty spaces or in between songs. What is he saying? What is he doing? And then, you know, I watch whoever else, you know, and just try to build my own shit without biting from everybody else, you know. So that is what my main thing, because the songs, I'm like, yeah, I know the songs, but what's gonna happen in between that? How am I gonna lead to that song? How am I gonna arrange these songs that makes sense with that one?
Yeah.
And you know, like it's, you know, damn.
You just see it from so many different angles, because hip hop artists, they have way different interludes between songs than like a rock song does, right? Like, for example, like Neil Young, whenever he's like about to perform a song, all he does is like, you know, pluck on guitar strings, and then he explains why he wrote the song. Like the song Old Man, I've watched that like live performance so many times where he's like, yeah, so this song is about this one guy bought this farm back out in Louisiana. Like a few years ago, and there was an old guy that was a caretaker that was actually like attached to the land. You know, he would just take care of the cattle and whatnot. And he would explain the whole entire song from start to finish and then play it. But hip hop, it's like, you know, you got like, y'all want to hear the next track? All right, cool. This is like do. So it's like there's like definitely with those back to like those all those different like versatile influences and inspirations that you've gotten too. That's something that you definitely incorporate as well. Not to give advice,
like,
but you already know.
Like I study. Like I'm watching Jim Morrison. I'm watching Kurt Cobain. I'm watching. I mean, that's why I go to concerts is to study. Like, yeah, I love the music and stuff, but I'm studying what he's doing there. What's that guy doing over there? Like, even before I started making music, I would go to study. I would go to concerts by myself, you know, and like I'm sitting there and I'm studying. Like,
take notes.
Yeah, like I watched like every interview on YouTube about. I mean, you know, 106 in part. I mean, not 106. What is it? 97, you know, what the fuck?
97.5 The Vibe.
Yeah, like
shout out to those
Bobby
guys though too.
Earn dollars.
They've given us some shouts too. We've actually collaborated with them as well at the Kurt Cobain show for DJ Earn Dollars, and then Bobby too. She goes by Bobby's World, and that's what her radio show is too. For 97 by the Well, she's a DJ as well. So absolutely.
So it's just like mad studying, like mad. Yeah,
definitely.
I feel like your music, just listening to it, because I've listened to it quite a few times. I feel like it's very diverse. Like it kind of meets people where they at. And that's one thing I love about music. I love music that I can listen to, and no matter what mind state I'm in or where I'm at in life, like it kind of meets me there and I'm able to connect to it. And so like your music, like I've listened to it quite a few different times, and it's like I could listen to it like cruising through Tucson. I can listen to it high as a motherfucker. Smoking a blunt. I can listen to it when I'm like angry and I just need something to kind of like ground me again. And it's super cool. Like I really like
I sent
connect to it.
I sent Jacob like this rock song. I don't know if you got it's just an audio file. I don't know if it'll play, but yeah. Yeah, I got this rock joint that I'm gonna drop on that day for the first time.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like like
fit the vibe of the show.
So you're stepping outside.
Yeah, and I already had that, but it was like rough. And when my boy asked me, like, and I knew it was a rock thing, I was like, all right, I'm gonna tighten this up. And I worked on it for a little bit, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna drop this one, which it happens to be my daughter's favorite song too. Like,
nice.
Yeah, and it has a rock feel to it because like I like everything, you know. Like my very first song had this heavy jazz feel to it, you know.
Yes.
And then this song and. Like I like everything, so I try to make everything. Like I'm not just trying to. I would probably like be bored already if I was just trying to just rap.
Yeah,
you know. Yeah. Like even though I love putting together rhymes and bars and stories and shit, you know. But
would you say that's your favorite too,
or the Crook one for right now?
Yeah.
It's
girl, I'm gonna tell you.
The one that I can't listen to, right?
We'll listen to it after everything's done.
Yes,
it's important. Girl, like low key, I'm not even gonna lie. Like there was a part of me that was like crying on the inside, but I didn't want to be that bitch that was like balling on the outside.
Hey,
so
you got like 5 seconds to be emotional during the day. And then you
no, it wasn't even 5
gangster
like
again.
it hit me and I was like, ooh. And then I saw his face and I was like, bro, like I could girl, he was feeling it. Like I swear to God, as soon as it started
I've only
playing,
showed
he
like a
started
handful
crying.
of people.
He started
like,
crying. And I swear to
I
God,
was
like it
like-
hit my soul. And I told him that I was like,
It was a
dude,
good
there
night.
is very
Yeah,
few, like very few songs that I've listened to that has really like connected with my soul and made me feel like I was a part of everything around me. But that, like literally, I was like, dude, hands down.
We're like
one of my
super
favorite
gassing this
songs.
track up. So D
Oh,
Breezy's like,
No,
this
I'm
better
dead
be the
serious.
best song
I
ever.
swear to God,
fucker.
bro,
I
it's
want some jalapeno poppers.
no,
though.
Right,
it's,
yeah.
it's
Sierra,
okay.
where
It's
you at?
good without the jalapeno poppers, but I'm gonna tell you, it's
I'm just
gonna
go
blow your
somewhere and get
fucking
some
mind.
jalapeno
Oh,
poppers
man.
for
And you know what?
myself.
Like every
It's
track that I
beautiful.
work on, I take my time. Like
Yes.
I just can't write something and be like, that's it. I do capture try to capture the emotion in it, but I try to be, barsy with it.
Yeah.
But that one, when I got it, oh man, I wrote that shit instantly, bro. Like it just boom. I was at a park.
Girl,
Yeah,
I
went-
could feel his soul bleeding.
I went to a park and I smoked a blunt and I had my laptop with it because I had it in my email. So I took my laptop with me and I plugged it in my shit and I rolled my blunt and I opened that and I said click and I was like, oh, bam, 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 like right away.
No, straight
And
up.
I tuned it up after because I sat on it for like 2 months because I knew again I was only 6 months into me doing music. So I was like, yo, I know in 8 months I'm gonna be better than I was at 6 months. So I wrote the verse and I rapped it so many times. But after I got to that point, it was like, okay, now this is the final cut. You better get it because Crook's coming in 2 months.
Yeah,
So I was like, all right. So
Better be ready.
yeah, I was so ready, and Crook liked it, and yeah, it was just dope. Like,
I think we honestly did you release? I'm not sure if we released our reactions to that video. I remember I was in awe.
do we have that though?
He was crying.
Yeah.
We could show you explicitly
mean,
too. Absolutely. Yeah.
It was super.
We've got it on the
super
archives.
astonishing. It was definitely.
I don't mind that being out. Either.
No, it was a profound moment.
But
Like
if
I felt your soul bleeding, and I was like, at that point in time, like I've known you for a little bit, and we've kind of talked here and there. And I remember when I first started, and I took over your job. Like I used to call you every single fucking day, and we would talk for hours. Like me and this motherfucker would talk for hours, and hearing that song, it was like, yo, like I connected with you on a whole different level. It wasn't even like a business tip. It wasn't even a friendship tip. It was like your soul was bleeding. I could feel that and I could relate to you because there's a point in time in my life where I was bleeding too. And it just, I don't know, it just resonated and it was so beautiful. Girl, you got to hear this shit. It'll change your fucking life. I'm dead serious. It'll change your life.
Breezy is eager to hear this song.
I know.
So,
She's like, hold on,
Just
let's
kidding.
pause shit. Let's go to commercial. Yeah.
but I am going to say though, Sensei, final question, just to leave us for the fans and all the viewers that are turning in also. Sensei Sai, do you have any advice for any upcoming artists for them to be successful or for them that are just first starting out and want to, or maybe even haven't even started out yet, but are possibly even considering the idea of becoming a hip hop artist and extraordinaire?
Yes,
What
give
would
them
your
something
advice
to
be?
take the plunge.
I'm gonna give both sides. All right. First, just do it.
Yeah,
it's simple.
Love
just do
that.
it.
Yep.
Now the other side is you're gonna need some equipment.
Mhm.
You're gonna need at least a laptop to start, a mic. You're gonna need an interface, and you're just gonna need some motivation, and just start writing and just like my shit was like hella rough when I first started. You know what I'm saying? I had the tools in my head, but I was like, yo, how do I use these though? Because all the studying I already did before, like, yo, I got this whole thing, but what do I do with that? How do I use that and this together? So you just have to do it and gain your own experience.
Mm-hmm.
And like, really, that's the difference that's gonna put you apart from other people is just doing it. Because before I was doing it, I had mad ideas, and I was like a thinker only.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't putting I was like, damn, I could do this. Yeah, like I wasn't doing it just yet, you know. So I had and that's what I was sitting on because I considered myself, and like other people were like, oh yeah, this thinks a lot, you know, like I'll be at a place just fucking thinking, you know, like, and you know, but then when time came, like I knew what I had to do, so I just was on it, and I was like, all right, this is these are the steps. I could already see like 10 steps ahead.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, let me tackle these 10 steps. And then it showed me another 10 steps. And then from there, it showed me another 10 steps, but like I said, I joined that music seminar. So I'm taking notes, like I'm trying to learn. And then my cousin who went to school for music, he gave me all his books and stuff. Like,
dope. Okay.
He was like, yo, I was going through my garage and I found all these books. Like, yo, you want them? I was like, fuck yeah, dude.
Like theory and a bunch of different
everything, bro. Everything. So I have all his books. So whatever page you open is like almost opening the Bible, whatever page you open is gonna tell you what you need to know.
Yeah.
So you open that and you're like, oh, okay. I see I need to have this here or whatever. So
like I have a quick like tack on question to that is like what is your advice for people overcoming objection? Because a lot of times, the one thing that stands in our way more than anything else is ourselves. We're either afraid to take the plunge or we don't think we're good enough. What is your advice for people that are in that point in their life where they want to do something, but at the same time they're scared?
Just do it.
Besides just do it. Like, how did you overcome that objection? Because I truly believe that there was a point in your life where you look back and you're like, look, like, I don't know if I'm going to make it. But at the same time, you still grind it out. You still worked really hard. Like, what's your
I don't know if I had that. Like where I was like, I don't know if I doubted myself like that, honestly. Like I can't really think.
Did you have anybody that doubted you?
I mean, I have, there's haters,
Oh,
there's
of course.
people like, but like everything that I've done, like all the connections I made with everybody, like they didn't have nothing to do with it. So they're not gonna have anything to do with anything else I do ever. You know what I'm saying? So like really nobody's opinion. I'll ask people like I said, my boy Adrian, he knows nothing about music. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But if I show him something, he's like, and he gets something from it, I'm like, okay, that's cool. But then I know somebody who knows a lot about music, so it's not like I'm running it through them for like approval or permission. It's just on an artist level, what you think about that, and it's not even what you think about it, but what are your opinions of it? What do
Mm-hmm.
It's an artist thing. You could ask, like Gabriel invited me over from Intertwine to listen to his album. And he asked me, this is what I'm looking for. So there's a certain level, but I think bottom, you need to know yourself. Like that's really what it is knowing yourself, knowing who you are, and keeping good energy. Honestly, like if you have bad thoughts, like bad shit's probably gonna happen to you. If you wake up always mad, or you wake up, or you just have negative thoughts, you're gonna attract negative energy.
Absolutely.
So there's so many things like you have to probably get in order.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's just how I feel. The other day I just watched the XXX documentary. I don't know if you guys seen that one. It's a brand new one.
No.
And like he was trying to get things in order, but his mental things were just too strong,
Yeah.
And he had those times where he was like, yeah, I could do this, my bad. And then he had the other things, but that's all like mental,
absolutely.
Health, so I think you need to know yourself and really know what your weaknesses are, what your strengths are, and then identify like, how can I make this weakness my strength, or how can I be better? Really, I think it's really just knowing yourself and what you can do and what you can't do, and then what you can't do, how can you end up doing it?
Absolutely.
Like that's, I don't know.
So, closing out, where can people find your music? Where can they find your merch? Because I know you did mention that you've teamed up with, I think it's TNT or TMT or something like that.
Yeah, TNT. They were cool enough to let me sell some merch in there.
We have a question in the comments. Philosophy Kingdom.
Wait, where is it?
Has a question.
Oh, okay. What do you got, Philosophy?
Shoot it. Hurry up. You got like 5 seconds.
What do you got?
Damn, we skipped a whole series of people.
Philosophy. What you got, hun?
We haven't even looked at the comments in a very
Shout
long
out
time.
to Philosophy.
Yeah.
We're waiting.
Bring me on the live. What up,
Bring me on the live. All right.
We really need to start paying
Go
more
ahead
attention
and
to the
ask your
comments
question.
over
Sorry,
here.
guys. We've been on a tip today.
Talking.
Philosophy, go ahead and ask your questions.
Well, not
sweetheart.
only that, there's just we skipped over literally everyone else's comments
Shout
before
out to
Philosophy's
Adrian
over here.
Vargas.
I know
That's
everybody's
Adriana in the
been.
lobby.
Do you know Joshona?
Yeah, that's my
Joshana
bro. Joshana's my
Gutierrez.
bro. Yeah, she's my bro. My
Yeah.
cousin Megan right there.
And then Angel also.
Yeah, Angel.
Yes.
Why are we
Angel.
skipping over everybody and going right
Sorry,
to Philosophy
guys.
over here?
Well, he popped up twice, so Philosophy, go ahead and ask your question, sweetheart. Oh shit, that's my boy. That was Angel. Philosophy, ask your question,
some
sweetheart.
love.
Yeah, we got lots of love here.
Did you guys
So
go all the way
anyways,
through like every
just go
single
ahead
comment?
and
Yeah,
tell us,
I'm
like-
actually, so everybody knows I'm kind of scrolling through things
Oh, wait,
as we're
scroll
going
back.
along.
Sorry, scroll back down real quick.
Just go ahead and tell us like
Where
to
do you
find
see yourself in 5 months is what Philosophy King Denim asked.
Oh.
So what do you see yourself doing? That's a great question, by the way. Thank you.
So even like
We skipped by so many.
even like the 5-year question you asked me,
Mm-hmm.
like I see myself practicing and getting better at my performance, my stage performance. I plan on creating a bigger catalog for my music because I've only been doing music for like a year and a half. So I have 9 songs out like on big platforms that I can make money off. But I have, I think, 20 songs on YouTube. So to me, that's not that much. Like some people told me it was a lot. I don't think it's that much. I have a lot more work to do.
No,
but
it really
I work
is,
on
though.
these one tracks for a long time because I'm trying to, like, to me, working on one track, trying to do one thing is like me just working on my dribbling only. No shooting, no passing, no nothing, only dribbling. So that's what I'm working on one track on, trying to get this one thing mastered. And then when I feel like, oh, okay, then I'll release it. So that's what you hear. And then the next track, I'm doing layups only, and then shooting or whatever. So each track that I work on is like you said, it's something different and diverse.
Yeah.
But 5 months, I see myself doing a lot more shows, throwing my own shows, and really like trying to see who wants to, out of my work that I'm doing, like who wants to like join me and learn from what I've done so far. Because I'm not just talking it, like I'm showing you that I'm doing it, so that's the difference. You know what I'm saying? I could tell you, or you could, like, I could watch all those videos on YouTube and all those seminars, but if I don't apply this shit, then what's the point of it? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just collecting information and not using it. But like I said, I'm trying to collect the information not only for me, but in a way that I could put it back out and teach it.
Absolutely.
So I'm just trying to help, but I'm gonna put myself on first with this Crooked Eye joint, with the Razzcast joint. I can't even say the other ones yet because it's not
Exclusive. No, don't say too much. That's
It's
what happens
gonna-
when I get like an acting job too. I'm not even authorized to say this yet because I'm still negotiating my contracts, etc.
It's gonna be enough.
So you're
all,
good, brother.
all I gotta say is this.
We have some questions going out. Definitely. There's people that are interested in wanting to know different things. One more question from Philosophy King Denim. It says, what is your strongest suit? How do you prepare yourself for a rec session?
So a recording session.
Yeah, so I try not to listen to my favorite hip hop before I record. I try not to listen to any hip hop before I record. I'll listen to Erykah Badu, Sade. I'll
Yes, Sade.
To the Doors, I listen to other stuff that influences me. But I do have an inspiration playlist that has all my Nas and everything like that. But I try not to listen to that right before I record because I don't want to take too much from them.
Yeah.
You feel me?
You just want to be true.
Yeah.
like,
So
true to
I
yourself.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
So you got your like pump up playlist? Is that what it
I
is?
got like many playlists, of course I'm listening to the beat that I'm probably gonna use. I go outside, have a cup of coffee and a blunt.
Yes.
I get zen myself, get in that good energy or the energy that I want. Sometimes I work a long ass day and I'm beat, so I come home and I'll take a power nap, get up, get a coffee, a little blunt, and then go into the booth and just be in there forever, and then come out. I'll listen to it. Maybe I'll go to Adrian's house, let him peep it, and then go back into the booth. Reading too. Like I got a bunch of books. Most of my books that I read are music books or some kind of has to do with music in the brain or something like that, or how it affects you, what your brain does when you hear this certain sound, what it does when you hear whatever, let me see what else I do before I go to the booth. Or if I have my daughter, get her situated, either she's gonna be with babysitter or she's gonna be with me in the booth. Yeah, but honestly, I try not to listen to my favorite hip hop or people. Like, I don't know, it just depends on the feel. Like sometimes I might listen to some AZ before, but then I won't go straight to the booth after listening to AZ. I'll throw in Nirvana or whoever, something that's not that. But that's gonna keep me in the same mood if
That's
that
like a lot of the
sense.
particular reason why I listen to like Hendrix too, for example.
Yeah,
like I'll take like a lot of inspiration from Hendrix because like the things that he speaks, it's almost like it's in like that like spiritual native tongue is what I call it, right? So it's like when he's like, and so castles made of sand melt into the sea eventually. It's like he doesn't mean that like literally that's what he's talking about. He just like that's like what he was going through in that particular time, and that's how he just chose to describe it. And that's what's so beautiful about music. It's like up for interpretation in any certain way. Like the artist could say what he says is the interpretation for it, but it's up for you to interpret. And that's
right. And me and Adrian were just having a conversation about that. He asked me, what are you gonna say if somebody asks you about a certain bar or a certain lyric? And I was like, because I would like to explain it to him, because Rap Genius, they break down the bars in it, and I was like, okay, if I end up on Rap Genius, am I going to contribute? Have you seen like an artist tell, like an artist will jump on there and be like, hey, this is what I meant, or this is,
everything.
Yeah. And that's how I am when I look at stuff. I dissect everything, but that came up too. Am I just going to leave it up to the listener to determine on themselves? Because some of my like some people are like, oh, you too complex, you too, and I'm like, I don't even think I'm there yet to where I want to be, but that's what I'm trying to work on. You know what I'm saying? I do want to drop a bar where it's not going to hit you to a week later or like 2 weeks later,
Right.
But then I don't want to make it too crazy that our average listeners are gonna be like, oh, dude, I can't even,
I know.
So I'm
it's
trying to
fly over the majority.
Yeah,
of people's
and
heads.
that's the whole. I love the process of me finding that out. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm okay with the process. I'm okay with the timing. You know what I'm saying? I'm okay with being patient about it. Like I know I got a long way to go. And but I do know where I'm going without knowing where I'm going.
It'd be like spin some shit like, hey, I was in your areas, thought I just would swing by like a girl that's curious. And then you're like, swing by. Like, oh, like swing bisexual, like swing that way. Oh, now I get it. But that flew over most people's heads right there. I just thought I'd swing by like a girl that's curious. Oh, shit. I had to think about that for that.
That's and sometimes I'll make like easy shit to listen to. And sometimes I want to make, some real barsy shit, stuff.
So what was I gonna say though?
I want to listen to that song already.
He wants to close this out already because she just wants to listen to this exclusive ass shit.
So shout out to Philosophy.
Watch the show because a lot of some of the things you're asking, he kind of
thank you so much for tuning in. Like he's asked so many questions. I apologize if we haven't been able to get to them all. We thank everybody for tuning in.
Philosophy asked how much to invest in yourself.
Yes.
300%, 1000%. Because ain't nobody else is gonna invest in me more than I can.
And Philosophy also did a shout out to Bo. He said you're an amazing actor.
That's what I was gonna get into also, just actually that's really funny because I was gonna get into like investing as an actor. It's like you gotta put up so much money up front. But that's like the point though, too, that like will either just prove to yourself how much you want it, or it's gonna like tentatively just diminish like your dream and let it like seep through your fingertips while you're trying to hold it up by yourself,
And
but like
that's something I learned because I was really like my first couple months, I was so like my talent of what I'm gonna do is gonna take me past all these fake people who are on the radio and all this. And then I after doing research and stuff and hearing people say, it's not your talent that's gonna take you. You actually have to put up some money to get to, it really gonna take some money. And then I was like, man, fuck that. Like, no, it ain't gonna take. Like,
Right.
people are gonna hear my bars, and it's gonna take me.
I'm gonna get signed.
Yeah, but then I was like, how many other people? Sean Price, all these badass motherfuckers, you know.
Rest in peace,
I don't know
Sean
if that's
Price,
I don't know if that's a great example, but you get what I'm saying, though. You know
No,
what I'm saying?
Sean
Like,
Price is a perfect example. Absolutely. Those of you that know who Sean Price is, he collaborated with like Rock from Helter Skelter that actually lives in Tucson now, which is fucking crazy, right? But no, he's a perfect example. Rest in peace, Sean Price. His last album that he put out, Kimbo Price, was the dopest shit.
Bro, like,
for real.
But and then when I got in with M80 and them, and I started to ask them questions,
That's right around
that's
the
what I was
same-
learning. He was like, "Yo, you're gonna need some money to do what you know." And me, I was just gonna do it for the love of it, and just do it for myself. But then after, I was like, "Oh, I could actually do something that makes an impact where I live, and not only where I live, but let's see if I can spread it out."
Yeah.
And then when I started putting out music, people were hitting me up like, "Yo, this, you know, I really like, you know." And then my OGs, guys who were older than me, and you know, they hit me up like, "Yo, this song right here helped me through this hard part." And when I got that first message from one of those guys, I sat back like, "Oh shit." Like, damn, I didn't think I was gonna do it, because I'm not even thinking about that. I'm not thinking this song's gonna do that for this person. It's me shooting free throws and practicing my form. You know what I'm saying? But then somebody, it was like, "Yo, I like the way you shoot that ball." You know what I'm saying? Like,
absolutely.
I was like, "Oh, damn." Like, it really made me think more into like, okay, like your music can impact people, because I didn't think it would impact somebody like that. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And damn, what was the question?
Oh, it was just about
the money, the
and we're
investment.
not even high.
Just
The money, the
investing
investment is so
into
much,
your
you know what I'm
own
saying?
craft, and not just your
Yeah.
own craft, but just like considering yourself your own business entity too. Because like you as Sensei Sai, that is a business in itself.
I wanted to ask how you came up with that name.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great question.
Where did that come from, by the way? Because even I was curious.
And like this,
obviously the Wu-Tang influence, but subsided from that.
So I met him at Cisco, and then like his name was totally different, and then you know, he was Sensei Sai. So like, where'd you come up with that?
So damn. All right, so it's a silly ass story, but all right, so Sensei, well, first I'm gonna say Sai means brother in Yaqui, my native language. So Sai is brother. Sensei, like I said, I kind of felt like a teacher in some ways to some people, you know what I'm saying? I was a OG to some people, you know, so, and I was always giving, or felt like I was giving good advice. I don't know if it was good. I don't know if it was good advice, but you know, it wasn't trying to fuck them up. So I was trying, just try to do this or whatever. So I don't know, I was probably like 26 or whatever, and some of my young homies who just turned 21 were like, "Yo, take us out, show us how you party," you know. And we went to like Maloney's and yeah, so I had a bunch of little young homies with me, man.
Shit, man.
No,
it exists anymore.
Yeah, Maloney's, yeah. And I was like, "Yo, this is what I do." You know, I come to the bar, you know, we'll take a lap, blah blah blah, we'll post up, show him my whole little game plan and shit, and everything that I told him worked exactly how I told him. So exactly, like, I was like, "Yo, see that chick over there? Like, this is what you do, blah blah." She comes up, "Yo, can I dance with you?" Blah blah blah. And like everything was just like perfect, and they're like, "Yo, Sensei," like it was just. So that's where it kind of came from. So now I was thinking like, what's gonna be my rap name? Am I gonna go with my name? Am I gonna go? And it just kind of fell in with the whole Wu-Tang thing. Of course, Wu-Tang, it's Chinese, Sensei is Japanese, you know, but you know, I take a lot of my stuff from Bruce Lee, Chinese, you know, but it kind of, like I said, with no disrespect, but they almost share the same philosophies in a way, you know. So it kind of, that's why.
That's a really dope name. I was like, wait, I'm like, that isn't his name. I'm like,
so
it's
Sensei,
like easy to remember too.
Yeah, so Sensei is like teacher, and then brother. Yeah, so like I want to be a teacher, but I'm your brother, so I'm looking out for you. You know,
You
like
wanna close it up, baby?
I'm not trying to shit on you with information. I'm trying to help you. So that's where Sensei Sai, like, it was first Sensei, then I added the Sai on it like a couple months later. So
If you'd like to be on our next episode, just inbox us for details. Thanks for tuning in.